All right, guys, welcome back. We're here for our 7th game of the Valorant season for the Point Park Pioneers. I'm Kaiser, and I'm here with Lynette. Lynette, this is my first time on the desk with you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm so excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially because Point Park, again, we said it's their 7th game. We're still looking for a win 0-6 right now, so I think if they can pull it out today, it might be a little bit more exciting here on the desk. I think they're due for a win. I think they're ready for a win, and I heard that it's Ari's birthday today, so we might have that birthday buff. I think this is the week. This is time for a win. What do you think?
I think so too. That's them there in the blue. Happy birthday to Ari. They've been a great player this season. I wasn't here last season to see them, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, actually, Ari started last year here on the desk with me. We did a lot of casting, and then Ari moved to really be a core part of the team, and she's really shined there in that role. So happy birthday, Ari. You're going to bring home this win. I can feel it. I know you're ready. Let's get it. Let's get it. We are facing Pennsylvania College of Tech this week. They're 3-3 right now in the season, tied for third, of course, in this East 7 little bracket. So it might be a little bit of an uphill battle for the Pioneers, but some of their losses have been pretty close.
Point Park has had a lot of really, really close games this season, just never quite able to finish out the games. So hoping to see that change here, maybe end the season on a high note.
Yeah, I mean, last week, of course, 13-11 and 13-10. So 2 pretty close losses for the Pioneers. I know they keep inching their way towards that victory. So hopefully that's this week. But I don't know. I mean, I think it will be tough. I think the Pioneers have to bring their A game. But I heard them talking strats earlier today. I know they're ready. Creep looks ready.
Creep, always a very confident player, and glad to see him look to be having fun. Always a great mindset to go into a game with.
Well, unfortunately for the Pioneer Valorant team, this will be our last game of the regular season. And because we're 0-6 right now, we don't have a chance to qualify for playoffs, unfortunately. But I really think if we could end this season with a win, moving into the next season, I think those are the vibes we want. I think the Pioneers have a good team. They have good strats. It's just really that stamina closing it out. But I think this is the week, Lynette. I really do.
With Point Park's team, I think the biggest issue right now is that they aren't great at playing together yet, which makes sense. They're all pretty new to playing with this group. At least they have a handful of new players, such as Daystar. And the longer they play with the team, they'll just be getting better and better. So if they can end it out, they might be able to bring that energy into the next season.
I definitely agree. We do have some new players, but we also have some returning players like Clark right here. And of course, we saw Creep earlier. They were kind of an integral part of last season. We talked about how Ari came in late to the season, but Clark and Creep, and of course Curse, who I'm sure we'll get to see here in a minute, getting ready to lock in for this last game, have been an integral part. Of course, Creep's been acting as that IGL for quite a bit over there, and I know has lots of lengthy talks with Coach about what they can do to bring it, but definitely a strong core member of the team, and I think both ready to bring it.
This game, as Point Park can't really make it into the playoffs, this is less about their chance of ending and more just, can they defend their honor?
I think they can. And look at that. Look at Kirst's face. Kirst is ready to defend, I think, the Pioneers' honor. Again, we talked about those kind of core 3, Creep, Kirst, and Clark, who were here all of last season. They're here again, and they kind of make up the heart, I would say, of the team. Been playing together and scrimming together for quite some time. Very strong players, and I think, I think this is kind of defending their honor, like you said. Last season had quite a few wins, not enough to make it to playoffs, unfortunately, but we're able to put some wins on the board, and they haven't been able to do that this season. So I think that's tough.
Yeah, and Point Park, they have a strong team, but they just need to they need to get these new players acquainted with the team. This is their first season. These are the growing pains you tend to expect with any new player being introduced to an already experienced team.
Speaking of a new player right there, we got a chance to look at Daystar, who also looks locked in and ready to go. I'm excited. I think Daystar has been a nice addition to the team. I think they're still, as a team, trying to find that groove. But remember, this is just the fall season. We do have spring coming up. And I think with each win that's coming progressively closer, I think you can see that synergy just kind of building off of each other. And I do think there's a chance for them to really build up. And I think... I say this every week, I know, but I really do think this is the week for a win.
I believe it. On the topic of Daystar, we've been seeing it as the season goes on. He's growing to be more confident as a player, and that's what he needs. His mechanics and skills, they're all there. I've played with him a good deal, and he's a really talented player. Mm-hmm. He's just new to this competitive environment and needs to work on that confidence. But the longer we go, the more that's going to get there.
And I think just new to the team, I think as a whole, and we talked about how Point Park Pioneers feel like a family. Of course, at the head of the table, you have Coach Chris there on the left. When we talk about an integral part of the team, I don't think Coach Chris can go unsung. I think he really, you can tell, he cares about the players. He cares about the team. And really, I think without Coach Chris... Yeah, I know we're 0-6 right now, but like we said, they've been close games, and I think he really cares. We've been talking about changing just some play styles, using different utility. They were talking about today, using a little bit more utility or less, depending on the situation, and not just widely using it. So even though we're the last week in, we're still working on those fundamentals, and I think that's important of any good team. And even now you can see they're still talking strats right before we go in, and that's what you want to see from a team. You want to see that they're taking this seriously, and I'm so excited to kick this off.
Excuse me. One thing interesting to note about this Pioneers team is that the majority of their players do tend to be flex players, which that gives them so much versatility in their strategies. And I love to see them play because of that, because it's always something different.
Absolutely. And I think is something important when you talk about a team, is having that versatility, because you're not locked to one role and you're not locked to one agent, and that really kind of expands your flexibility for the games and the maps especially. And I think that's why a lot of these games that maybe should have been not quite as close as they are, Pioneers able to bring it to 13-11, able to bring it to 13-10, because they are close. A couple overtimes. And I know it's been hard. I know this has been a long season. And I know, again, we talk about collegiate esports. Everyone here on the team is a student. So there's a lot of other stuff going on. But you can tell that they just really enjoy this game. And I'd love to see them walk home with a win.
Yeah, and honestly, I know this kind of sounds cliche, but that love of the game and the fun they have playing, that's really what this is all about. Sure, winning's great, but as long as they're having fun, that's what we're here for. Here to see that and encourage it, and hope they win, but...
I hope they win.
I hope
they win. Of course, I'm sure any Penn College fans in here today watching the stream from our broadcast over here, I know you're not hoping the Pioneers win. So we'll try to be as unbiased as possible in our coverage of the game today. But just know in my heart, I'm always a Pioneer fan.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We should be getting into these picks soon, hopefully. So... in the meantime, might as well go over, the rosters of each team.
Yeah, well, we did have the chance to go over the Point Park Pioneers roster. Of course, everyone we just showcased, and didn't get a chance to showcase Ari on the individual cam, but you can see Ari right there. We talked about birthday buff coming in the blue through Penn Colleges.
So, for... Penn College, they have Onyx, Mango, Maple Cinnamon, Embrace Rat, love that name, Spy, Mr. Chimp, and A, I believe is how it's said. Now, I've not seen them play before, but we do have stats from their last game, and they did, they did sweep their last match.
But they actually got swept on their last map.
Sorry.
They played University of Central Oklahoma, a team not unfamiliar to us over here at the Pioneers, and it was pretty rough. They lost 13-3, and then, of course, game 2 a little bit closer, 13-8, but still pretty tough losses. So, if the Pioneers are able to kind of bounce back on top of that and kind of double down, that might be a tough loss here for Pennsylvania College of Tech.
So we've got both teams coming off pretty, morale-breaking losses. So hopefully they can both build up their spirits and get into this game with a good attitude.
That's the thing about the Pioneers. I think they do really have a good attitude. You can see it in their faces week after week. They come in and Clark, Kirst, Creep, Ari, Daystar, always ready to play. And of course we have our beautiful, beautiful subs. We have Safe Danger, Muzzled Yeti 40, and of course Mona to the moon and back, who we actually got to interview the past couple times. So excited that she is back, an integral part of the team. But Creep did tell me that this week's a win. He feels it, and you know what? I feel it too.
I believe it. Also, worth noting on the topic of subs, Safe Danger, also a player for the Rocket League team.
A lot of our players definitely knowledgeable in all of the games, but we are finally getting our first map picks in, and it looks like Penn College are actually choosing Ascent for map 1. And, that could mean good things for the Pioneers. This is their most picked map. Pioneers, and so it's also one of their highest win rates, which isn't saying much. We haven't had a lot of wins this season, but still, if there's ever a time to win, it could be here. So looks like we're going to Ascent. Pioneers should applaud, not even their pick. That means they get their next pick. We'll see when that comes in a second, but you can tell on their face, look at that smile coming in from Creep. They're excited about that one.
Now, Ascent for first map and getting the second with Point Park's pick going to be Split. And then for map 3, if it goes to a game 3, it's going to be Pearl. Now, I'm a big fan of Split, and is interesting to see what Point Park is picking when they don't have to pick their favorite pick.
And what's really exciting, I think, about the Pioneers being able to pick a map like Split is Split has been out of the map rotation for so long that I think hopefully in their minds, they might not have had as much time to scrim and practice on it, but the other teams probably haven't either. So again, we don't have the liberty of knowing how long this Penn Tech roster has been together, but definitely something to look out for. We do have a quick clarification coming in, though. Ascent was the Pioneers map pick, and I don't think any of us are surprised to see that coming in for the Pioneers. But that's okay. Again, Pioneers really, really enjoy picking that, so I'm not surprised they picked that first. I would be excited to see this go to map 3 because I have to say I'm a Pearl enjoyer. However, I really think that if the Pioneers want a chance to win, they have to win out in 2 here.
Worth noting, Pearl has also been out of the map rotation for quite a bit, same as Split, but I do hope we get to see some Pearl gameplay. I'm also a big Pearl fan, probably my favorite map.
I'm a Pearl enjoyer. I'm a Pearl enjoyer. Unfortunately, though, I think when we're kind of dissecting this a little bit more, now that we know that it was actually Penn College who picked Split, they might have been practicing it a little bit more, and that might mean bad news for the Pioneers. But the Pioneers have pretty consistently, I know they've had a couple rough games here in the last 6 series they've had, but pretty consistently have brought it close within, I would consider close within 5 rounds, I think, for the Pioneers here. Like we said, 13-11, 13-10, still looking for a series win, but if they can keep it close, again, they keep inching towards a win, and one of these times it's got to come through. It's got to come through.
Point Park, the team they tend to even though they lose, it's by pretty close margins. They don't tend to get blown out. So if, yeah, with them starting off on their map pick, if they can win that, they'll be in a great spot. And even if they can't, I do believe they'll still be just fine on Penn's map pick.
I do too. I think the thing that would be a little bit stressful for the Pioneers would be moving on to that map 3. I really think they need to win it out in 2, because what we've seen from the Pioneers is they have trouble with stamina in specific maps, but also in a series. And so if they can win it out before they make it to game 3, and of course any team that can win out in 2, that's better, right? You don't want to leave it up to the 3rd game, but the Pioneers have had a tough time closing out those game 3s, not as tough of a time making it there. And it just comes down to stamina when you watch that gameplay. So really, really hoping they're able to finish it out here. I think Ascent's really going to set the stage. But again, Penn College, I mean, they've been doing so well. They're 3-3, 3rd right now in this division, and that's kind of tough to go up against.
Yeah, going up against a higher seeded team, that's always going to be a lot of pressure on you, because you're always scared. You don't want to get embarrassed by this team. But
True.
I think Point Park, they're going to be perfectly capable of, at the very least, making it a close game.
I think so too. I definitely don't see any reason why this wouldn't be a close game and close series. They have been before. They've been able to bring it close. And remember, Penn College was swept pretty hard last season. I think they only put up 11 rounds total in that series. So that's tough, right?
That's always going to be rough. Getting just, those losses can just be so devastating for your team's mental. And we're going to see here today if they can bounce back from it.
Well, again, but I mean, that's the thing too. You have a tough loss. Does that affect your mental negatively? And now you're kind of coattailing off that loss, or do you kind of switch gears, pull in that determination, and then you're ready to just completely turn the tides, really? And that would be tough for the Pioneers, because I think if they have the momentum and the energy this week, if they're like, you know what, that loss we take personally, we need to kind of run it back and kind of fix some mistakes, well, that would be tough for the Pioneers.
Hopefully for Point Park, the other team, Penn, isn't going to be playing with that chip on their shoulder, and they're going to be coming into this fresh. Because a team out just dead set on winning is always going to be terrifying.
It's time for a Pioneer win. It's time. Game number 7. It's Ari's birthday. Gotta have a birthday present.
That would be a great present for Ari.
A great present for all the Pioneers to end the season on a win. I mean, talk about a comeback story. That would be a great way to end the season. You know you can't make playoffs. You know you're not moving on. This is it. So might as well end on a win.
Yeah, I never want to end a season without a win. That's
true.
Such a bad feeling. But there's always next season. And if they can win here, I think they'll be able to carry that momentum into this next season.
I definitely agree. And I mean, think about like those of you at home who play ranked, and let's say you lose like 5 in a row and you're like, man, this red carpet's really rolled out right in front of me. Look at that. Let's get a win. Let's get a W for Ari's birthday. I agree. Let's get a W for Ari's birthday. But when you have those kind of 6 straight losses in a row, that next win feels so much better than your typical win, doesn't it?
I feel that so much. I've been taking a bit of a break from Valorant, but I have been grinding ranked in League of Legends, and I've experienced that quite a few times.
It's the same concept, isn't it? In any game you play, right? Nobody likes a loss, but at the end of the day, there's only 2 teams. One team is walking away a winner, one with an L, unless you, of course, vote to draw. But in a collegiate environment like this, there are no draws. So you're going to walk away with a winner and a loser. And wow, I really think when you have kind of been forced against the wall an entire season, right? I just think a win here, especially on Ari's birthday, I mean, that would just be so sweet.
That would be such a, good memory for the team if they can bring it home.
And a good way to kind of ignite that fire and that spirit as they get ready for the next season coming up in the spring. Ending on a win, that would be huge.
That would be just so good for team morale. And we should be getting into the picks for this game very soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think it looks like all the teams are in the lobby. We're just getting ready for everyone to get set up, just waiting on a few things, and that's okay. Players are ready, and look, Pioneers are ready too, and you can tell they're just itching to get in. It looks like they're in good moods. It looks like they're just kind of doing some last minute strats, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the Pioneers. I really want this for them. I mean, you know what? I'm a sucker for an underdog though, so I'm always rooting for the underdog. Of course, as a Point Park Pioneer myself, I'm of course always rooting for the Pioneers, but Pioneers and an underdog story, that's it. That's it.
We live for that stuff. And we are going to be getting into this Ascent match here, getting into the pick phase.
Yeah, we'll see what we kind of got cooking. Remember, Ascent is one of those maps that has that kind of set meta. It's very much figured out, but we'll have to wait to see them lock in. But already I'm seeing maybe a double duelist coming out from the Pioneers if we get Daystar to lock in that Phoenix there.
Now, I have played with Daystar quite a bit, and we played together for Premier on Ascent. He loves going duelist on this map. I expected to see Arena, but Phoenix is also a pick he's very comfortable on, so I'm not surprised to see that. And we do get Ari, who, like we were talking about before, very flexible player, typically does tend to play Initiator or Controller, is going to be picking that second duelist Jet.
I'm excited to see Ari on this Jet. I think Ari is really great with her shots. And also, I mean, Ari, they have, I think, the highest KD on the team right now, a consistent over 1, which might not sound very impressive, but remember, this team has yet to win a series. So, I mean, Ari just consistently putting in work. Very, very excited to see that come through. And of course, when you look at kind of the other team, they really have that very kind of standard team comp. And you know, I will say the Pioneers didn't stray too far from that either. And of course, Daystar instead of maybe KO on the Phoenix. But again, 2 agents that can flash, and if that's how you're going to play aggressively, I think that's fine. And you talked about that Reyna pick. I'm kind of excited to see the Phoenix come out, because Reyna's a very selfish agent, and a lot of Reyna's kits depends on getting that contact or those kills. So if you don't get that, a lot of her kit's really useless. And I think the Pioneers in the position they've been in so far maybe don't want to rely on that. We have seen the Reyna come out from them in the past. Clark, I think last week or the week before, was on that Reyna, but I'm excited to see them straying from that a little bit.
In an environment like this, though, it does make more sense to pick someone who can be more consistent. We do see Point Park seems to be gearing up for a 5-man hit on B site.
No, and the Pioneers are correct. It looks like Penn College making their way up, but Curse and Creep already finding a couple picks. They see someone else through the smoke, and they're just going to start spamming that. Penn College having a hard time going through here.
Cursed gets a kill with the swarm grenade and a double kill for Creep. Off to a great start for Point Park. We see the Cypher and Omen just trying to creep up B main, but the spike is on site in the corner, and that's going to be really rough to try and get.
Oh yeah, I mean, unfortunately, right, for Penn College, they can't rotate. Pioneers have spike and it's pistol round, nothing to save, so they have to push their way on, and no flashes, like you said. It's a Cypher, it's an Omen, you maybe have that paranoia to work with.
Ooh, a bit of a misplay from Curse. They recharged their turret but die before using it. But 2 kills for Penn, only for Chimp to get traded out. But Embrace Rat takes out Daystar. It's down to a 2v1.
30 seconds left.
Rat creeping up to site. They see Ari. And Ari gets the kill. Point Park is going to take round 1.
You know, I think Penn College actually did a pretty good job trying to entry in that 2v5 there. Did put in quite a bit of work. That was a little bit scary. Of course, Pioneers in the end had it. I'm not surprised. I think just the way they played. But this is really important. We talk about how important pistol rounds are, and the Pioneers have kind of struggled in the past on their pistol, but being able to win this one here, huge, and they're going to be able to kind of pull off of that win and keep the ball rolling.
It does look like Penn is going to be going for the same strat this round. Typically, that is what you do on pistol rounds. They swing and get a headshot on the Killjoy, but the Jet and Sova are both down. So is the Cypher. They're all incredibly weak. They do push out onto site, but Creep takes out Chimp, and Curse just gets a double kill with their Molly. The Swarm Grenade taking out Jet and KO.
Mango not in the best position, especially when you have 19 HP and just a classic to work with. Pioneers doing a good job cleaning this up, as to be expected when they have that gun advantage. And now all down to one. Embrace Rat not able to do anything there, and a flawless round coming out for the Pioneers.
Point Park is off to a great start here. That's just exactly how you want to play around like that. When you have the gun advantage, you want to be taking those longer range fights. You don't want to be letting the people with the closer range pistols close that distance, and they did it perfectly.
And that's huge to have a flawless here, because that means the Pioneers able to keep all their weapons going to the next one, which they're going to need. Penn College here on a full buy. Of course, I saw a couple light shields. Someone didn't buy shields at all, but they all have rifles here. So if the Pioneers are able to kind of get rid of them, Creep doing a little bit of chip damage, but not anything that's really going to stop them too much.
Oh my god, and Spy walks out onto site without clearing their corner. And that's going to be first blood in the round to Clark. But Omsk does get a nice kill onto Are. And it is going to be a 4v4.
It looks like Penn College still kind of waiting outside, but they are going to commit to this push here.
Oh.
Huge Ares play there by Creep. That's hard to run into.
But Chimp does get Clark, so it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Chimp is half health though. The dart comes out from Creep. And Creep gets a third kill, taking out Mango.
Huge dart coming out, and Curse gonna find the last one. That's 2 rifles that are able to be recovered. Huge third win for the Pioneers. They did win the buy-up from Penn College, and this is the momentum they need to keep. I don't remember the last time we've seen the Pioneers kind of start off this strongly, and I think if they can keep riding this wave, I can see why Ascent is their map pick.
They're off to a great start, winning the bonus round as well as the first 2. That's so good for their momentum. And we did see a really good triple kill from, I believe it was Creep with the Ares.
It was Creep with the Ares. Yeah, when you think of Ascent, don't you think of like Sova with some sort of gun like that? Ares, Odin, just spamming. Beautifully played. And now Penn College doing a little bit of a default, seeing where they can try to find contact here, but it's going to be tough for them. They're on this kind of light buy, just having to save for next, not able to keep any of their weapons, and Spy, again, not able to clear really anything.
A good deal of chip damage does come out onto the Killjoy, though, who's just slightly over half health from the looks of it. And we see Penn backing up to take Spike, and it looks like they might be rotating over towards the B side of the map.
Creep had that Ares, but now did upgrade to the Odin and is going to be able to find one. Looking for more, just waiting for them to peek, but not going to find it. Mango has that Outlaw, and that's a tough thing to peek into if they're going to find your head.
That was a really nice shot. Oh my god. And Clark teleports directly in Spy's face and catches them off guard, but Mango gets a second headshot onto Daystar. Clark gets the kill on Chimp and teleports out, though, before he can get traded.
30 seconds left.
Ooh, Clark finds one and knows there's one more waiting, but Embrace Rat with that Sheriff gonna find Clark first. It's a 2v1, but the Pioneers have the weapons. Embrace Rat looking to pick one up.
Well, we do have a tiny bit of a lull. I do want to say I love the name Embrace Rat. Especially for an Omen. Oh, but he doesn't see the flank. It already does whiff, but can get the kill. Bit of a scary moment there, but that wasn't able to flick.
No, those were warning shots. Those were warning shots.
You've got to let him know, or else it's not as scary.
Exactly.
But that is going to be a 4th round in a row for Point Park. Creep with 7 kills, 2 deaths, and Clark right behind with 6 and 2. And then Cursed as well, 5 and 1.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Creep, Clark, Curse kind of being the core of the team. They were here the full season, both seasons last year. Definitely comfortable playing together. And this is kind of the old team that I'm used to. Mr.
Oh
Chip,
my god.
huge through the wall to find Creep. And, you know, this is a very must-win round for Penn College. But just like that, they're equalized right up.
Ari gets
that
one and gets
trade.
traded out. That was an incredible read from Mr. Chimp because he guessed that Creep was going to be going for that Odin play, so he did it right back. Clark,
That flash just kind of chilling there.
yeah. Clark gets a nice kill through a wall onto Jet. Couldn't quite see it, but down to a 3v3.
Is gonna equalize that up right there. And again, I don't know what's going on with these flashes. They just kind of sit there for a little bit. But Mango finding Daystar is gonna open that up, and they're gonna use that as a chance to rotate up here through B site. They know they found one, just two left.
But Clark wins the duel and is able to even it out yet again. Both members of Point Park are grouped up in defender spawn, but Penn is gonna get the plant. And they do have both ultimates, which is pretty scary.
Yeah, I know. Cypher's ult, they won't really be able to get off unless someone's there on site, but it looks like Clark's going to use this ult just for a little bit of information, is going to be able to spot exactly where that spike is, and, well, they know where they're hiding out.
The Cypher ult did come out. There was a dead body on the site, though. The paranoia comes out, and Clark aggressively scales up. Doesn't see Mango, though.
Oh, but
That was such a clean set of kills. They were both caught a little bit off guard, and just that reaction time was perfect.
that was a must-win round for Penn College, and unfortunately they weren't able to win that. So really, when you talk about that buildup of economy, the Pioneers have that.
And we do see Penn College is force buying right now. They need to break this momentum if they want to stay in the game.
I mean, they really have to force up here. I mean, 5 in a row that you lost. Even if you win this round, the Pioneers are just going to be able to buy up again. You're going to have to do it again. And Penn College really has to hope for a flawless win, too, at that.
Because every kill is just such good damage to the econ when you're in such a difficult spot like this. Spy and Ari creeping up. They see each other, but no kills going out. Daystar is pushed up in mid, though. And we do see the paranoia comes out. Ari dodges it and dashes out.
But
Ooh,
good
Spy takes
utility
out Ari
coming out
through
from
smoke.
Penn College, though. They knew exactly where Ari was, and Mango finding Clark is going to open up this site. They're going to be able to get this plant down, and now it's a 3v5 retake. But again, Pioneers have such a strong economy. There's no reason not to take these fights.
Yeah, we see Creep pushed up in heaven. He spots KO, who is all the way on B site. And Cursed scaling up through heaven with the Sova. This is a scary spot to be in.
Especially working against the clock. Curse is going to find one before getting traded out, but that KO is going to find Daystar now. All down to Creep, who's sitting there alone. It's kind of a tough ask of Creep.
Oh,
Looking for one more, but not going to find it, and that's a first round on the board for Penn College.
and we do see Daystar is struggling quite a bit right now. He doesn't seem to be playing that, like I was talking about. He doesn't have the confidence. And it looks like Point Park is going to be calling a timeout after that first round loss.
Yeah, not a bad time for a timeout to come out. Now, Pioneers have looked very strong so far, but remember, Ascent is very much a defender-sided map, so that means the Pioneers really have to put as many rounds on the board as possible here. Putting 5 on the board is good, but did Penn College just put a stop in the momentum, or are the Pioneers going to be able to turn it back around?
It's a great use of a timeout because clearly Penn has figured out what Point Park is trying to do. So now's the time you want to sit back, adjust your strategy, and try and keep that momentum going. You don't want to lose your momentum if you don't have to.
Exactly. Luckily for the Pioneers, I think they have enough rounds kind of built up where they're still going to feel comfortable going into this next one. And I am a fan of early timeouts because I think if you can kind of address some issues early on, well, then you can kind of figure it out before it's too late and kind of implement those changes. So, yeah, I think this was a well-placed timeout and also hopefully stop that momentum a little bit. And I think just kind of taking a pause and slowing the game down so they're not coming right off of that round win.
And with that, we're going to be getting back into the game. Looks like Penn College is gearing up all 5 outside B, and Spy aggressively scaling up mid, catches Creep with the bow out, and Ari gets scanned. Ari is trying to take a fight, but gets forced back by that Sova ult. Ooh, and Mango takes out Clark, and Rat takes out Cursed. Omx does go down, but they do get revived due to being in that KO ult, and Spy takes out Ari, and it's now a 1v5 Daystar.
Can't find one. Spy gets 3. Very aggressive play there from Spy, who I think had been struggling early on clearing some of those corners, decided to just be aggressive and push up, and it worked out. That's not how the Pioneers wanted this round to go after their time out. And now, well, we've talked about Penn College needing to win that 5th round, and well, we said they needed to win the 5th and they didn't, but they won that 6th round, and now finally the Pioneers forced on a later bye.
And with that, the momentum might be shifting as we see the buys flipped. That was a really tough round for Point Park to lose. We see Clark aggressively pushing up to try and get an early pick, but forced to fall off, falls into Under Heaven as Penn College scales up A main and mid catwalk.
Just looking for any sort of information, but this is where Ari shines best. Ari with a shotgun.
And they do a lot of damage, but can't get the kill. Spy takes out Daystar, and Ari is paranoid, gets taken out by the shock dart. That's just unfortunate.
It was a good use of utility by Penn College. We're able to get that plant down. Pioneers and a 3v5 retake. Creep, you can see looking for one, but it's Spy to find it. Spy to find another, and that's 3 on the board for Spy, and a flawless coming out of Penn College.
There was a little bit of a mistake on Creep's part there. He scaled up and he shot at the first person he saw. If he just waited a second longer, he likely could have taken out both people in tree. But that's a mistake we've all been guilty of. And we do see now, though, Point Park force buying. Well, Penn is finally in a good spot with their economy.
Yeah, and not quite a total force. I mean, that's why they saved last time, is so they can buy, but they're definitely going to need to win this one to feel comfortable, and it looks like it might have been a mistake. I think Creep was just alt-tab, not the place you want to be alt-tab. That's unfortunate, but Ari at least going to be able to equalize it. And Daystar, who creeped up, finds one, and that's the spike. Huge coming out here from the Pioneers. They know where Spike is, and they have numbers.
Oh, but the Omen does ult to grab Spike, and now Penn does have Spike over on the A side of the map. They seem to be scaling up mid.
Curse knows when to back off.
And it seems like Point Park is just falling back a little, waiting to see what move Penn is going to make.
Well, there's no reason for Point Park to get too aggressive. They have numbers here, and they have sight. Daystar did see one. Is definitely going to be able to call to friends that, hey, this could be a B hit. And that smoke comes out just like that. They're going to wait, and now Penn College kind of stuck there in main. Clark taking space up here in mid. Isn't going to find Spy, but at least has the intel on where they're going. Still a 3v3. Penn College still has to make their way on site, and only 30 seconds means that the Pioneers have a little bit more time to stall.
Ari takes out Spy and dashes out. That was a great paranoia, but just into the jet, she's able to get out safely. It is going to be a 3v2 retake for Point Park. And the Killjoy ult does come out, forcing Rat into that back corner.
It's a good use of an ultimate, going to be able to clear out a lot of sight here and make their way on.
And Cursed gets on the spike, but gets sprayed through the smoke by Rat.
They know now where both of them are, of course.
One enemy remaining.
Daystar gets the corn chip in a nice flick from Ari to take out Rat. Point Park able to get that momentum back. That was a big round. Penn is still going to be able to buy, but that's exactly what Point Park needed right then.
Yeah, definitely a huge round coming up from the Pioneers. You can tell by the smiles on their faces. Even Creep, who accidentally alt-tabbed at the beginning of the round, still, it's okay. Their team able to recover. And now, like we said, Penn College still able to buy. They'll be able to buy again next round if they lose again here. I think if the Pioneers can get 8 rounds here, so 2 more, they'll stand a chance when they're on attack.
We do see Creep going back to that Odin in B main, but it seems like Penn is entirely geared up on A, with 2 storming up mid to take Catwalk, where the rest push up A main.
I like Daystar's position, just kind of waiting, and the Penn College hasn't done a ton of clearing, so they might be able to get away with this one. Lots of utility here coming up on site, and look, Daystar finds one, looking for the other one, finds it, and that's Spike again.
Down A.
And Daystar,
Sees tree.
just nice set of kills in this round. Can he get out? No, he's gonna get taken out. Chimp takes out Daystar, and Spy gets cursed as well. It's gonna be a 2v2. Both Jets are incredibly weak. But, Penn is gonna take site, but do they know the Sova is flanking?
Well, also, unfortunately, they did have to pick up Spike, so that took a lot of time, and that gives time for Pioneers to get in a good position. There's 2 of them, and they're going to be watching both ways, and you can see Spy waiting.
And Creep does catch Mango, and now it's a 2v1 against the low health Jet, and Spy goes down. Point Park able to take the round. Daystar, in these last couple rounds, seems to have found his mojo almost.
Yeah, I think Daystar does really well just kind of playing off angles and also doing some of the lurks. And especially on an agent where you are a duelist, you have lots of utility you can work with. Unfortunately, yeah, there we did see Daystar kind of fall because, well, when there's so many angles to cover and you have to reload, that's tough. But yeah, definitely turning up, and now it's, again, a team game. Everyone's putting in effort. And the Pioneers, once again, on a roll. If they can win this next one and one after, they're going to be in a good spot going in.
Yeah, and it does look like Penn is going back to B for this round. They do detect Creep, who falls off the angle instead of pushing up with the Odin. And we do see Jet and Sova for Penn pushing up mid to market, but do they know Ari's there?
I think they do.
And a nice kill from Spy, winning the Jet duel. Daystar all the way in attacker spawn though with a long flank. But he's a bit late, and it's gonna be a fast hit from Penn. Creep anchored on site. Can he make something happen here?
Finds one, looking for another, but not going to find it. Embrace Rat finds Creep, and now all down to Daystar.
Daystar ults to clear out B main, but I think he might have ulted too early, as it seems Penn is just going to fall back to back site.
Yeah, lots of utility. At least going to spot out where that Cypher trip is. It's a lot you have to work against if you're Daystar. Time is ticking. I think the call to save is going to come in. Not enough time to deal with 3 and find the bomb. That means Penn College able to put one more on the board.
And we do see Daystar burning that family of 4's home off to the side.
Surely
as he
they're
elects
not
to
living
save.
in there anymore. They're not living in the sky.
I'd love to live in the sky. But yeah, we do see Daystar elect to save, seems to just be holding an off angle in mid, maybe trying to get an entry pick, but Penn trying to hunt him down, but both on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, Daystar just looking for maybe an entry frag or 2, but luckily for Daystar, they didn't push that, because when you're in a 1v3, especially at the end, you don't want to lose that weapon. This now will be the last round of the half, and we said Pioneers need to look for 8 here. I think they have the chance to do it. They unfortunately don't have the best buys that are able to come out, and that's unfortunate for the Pioneers, but if they can put one more, they'll be in a comfortable spot.
However, Ari does have that jet ult, so she's going to elect to not buy a gun. But Spy for Penn is buying an op, which is going to be very scary.
Well, an op on offense, but also Spy also has that ultimate as well, so going to be able to use those knives as well. Creep looking for some sort of damage there through the wall, but just not quite aiming. Oh, so close, Creep.
He
If
does
only you
take
knew
the
what
shield off
we
KJ.
know. Yeah, but not enough damage is done. Ari's holding mid here, but it's going to be Spy looking to clear that out. Has that op. Mid is such a dangerous place, and I don't think they know that, but they do now. The op coming out, and Ari going to find it with those knives. Suddenly, Pioneer's looking in a little bit of a better spot. They have numbers, and they have sight. Penn College going to have to start deciding what they want to do, but a huge drone coming out is going to spot one, and they know where the cam is. Curse just going to be forced to back off, but that gives Penn College time to sneak up on site, and it looks like that rotation's coming up, but Ari is in mid with the op, is going to whip, but that's okay. Has the ult, finds one more. Just 10 HP though, 3v3. Will Ari be able to find another? It's going to be tough.
And the Sova drone does come out. Did it see Ari or did it just go slightly over her head? It looks like they missed her. But Chimp is going to take out Daystar, and it's a 2v3.
Spike planted.
Oh, Ari not going to find that, and now all down to Curse. Now Curse is a person that you can see in these clutches, but it's tough when you're in a 1v3. Mr. Chimp gonna put it away. That's a 7-5 half. And now Pioneer's going into their attacking half. Now they did run double duelist here. If they can be aggressive and make their way onto site, get in good post-plant positions, they have a chance. It's all gonna start here with pistol. They won the last pistol. They're going to have to do it again. But 7-5, that's not quite the scoreline I think you want to see when you're moving on your attacking side here on Ascent.
But they are still in a solid position, and they do have a very strong team comp for offense, especially if they can get that plant down. Between the Phoenix, Killjoy, and Sova, they have a really strong post plant.
They do. I think it's going to be tough, though, if they're not able to make their way onto site. I think if they play aggressive, they'll be able to do it. We've seen some clean shots coming in, but Penn College kind of warmed up a little bit, and so they have to make sure they can capitalize off of that. They do know there's one there in Market. Gonna inch their way up, just sort of looking for that. Shots coming out, and Clark's gonna find that first blood.
And they do see the KO in defender spawn, and it does seem like Point Park is going to take site. Creep aggressively pushed up into a smoke, falls off right before the Omen gets there though. And Daystar in a scary situation, but Creep with a nice one tap onto KO.
That's what utility's for, to use it. And a clean round, near flawless for the Pioneers. A little bit of extra plant money gonna come out too. And that's the first pistol round. They're on the board for the Pioneers. I think that was a must-win round because they're moving in on their attacking half, which is generally the weaker side on a map like Ascent. If you lose those two pistol rounds, suddenly it's 7-7. And that's not what you want to look at.
However, if they can get a streak going like they did in the start of this game, that's just going to be game outright. So Penn has to shut them down pretty soon, or else it's lights out for them.
Yeah, well, Penn will have the chance next round when they're on their full buy. Pioneers really have to make sure they're on top of it and able to do it.
And we see Point Park slowly scaling up A main, and it seems like A is left undefended except for the Cypher cam. But it does see the drone from Sova. Ooh, and a nice kill from Spy onto Daystar. Spy has been deadly with that Marshall, but gets sprayed through the smoke by Cursed.
But that also means Penn College did kind of force up here. Ari, a victim of their own game. Ari's so strong with lurking with that shotgun, but the mighty are going to fall. Clark, though, at least equalizing it a little bit, but they're going to have to start making their way onto site. Penn College, those rotations are coming through. Creep doesn't know where to look.
And Creep does elect to scale out, sprays at Chimp through the smoke, and it's just an inch off his head. That's terrifying for that Cypher.
Are going to be able to get the plant down. That means Penn, who should have been defending site, are now on the offense. They have to push into Pioneers. Clark going to find one and able to get out. Save a little bit of time, and now suddenly a little bit harder for Penn College. A huge TP coming in.
Oh my god!
Chimp
Oh
to find
my
a bracelet and a
God.
4K coming out from Clark. That's how you do it if you're the Pioneers.
That was an insane play. It seems like Penn thought that Clark was teleporting back to site, but instead he teleported into Link and is able to find 4 kills that round.
I think Clark is just such a technically sound player, and I love watching Clark with these like nifty little Omen plays. It's so fun to watch.
Point Park as a whole loves those like mind games with Omen. We saw Ari do it a few times this season, going for fake teleports and the like. And seems like that extends to the rest of the team as well.
Well, Penn College are going to be able to buy full loadouts of rifles here, and Ari just switched the wrong gun at the wrong times by finding that first blood with that Vandal.
And Clark gets sprayed down. Cursed is in a rough spot. They do Molly Spy, who pushes up and is able to take out Cursed. It's going to be a 2v5.
Player standing.
And Spy takes out Daystar. Creep in a 1v5. If I'm him, I like to try and save this Vandal, but go for some picks if you can.
Yeah, well, I mean, being able to get a Vandal at all is just huge for Creep. Remember, they were kind of on a little bit of a bonus, and Creep is finding a pick. Now it's a 1v4. If they can do a little bit more damage, it looks like that's what they're going to try to do. Not going to find it, but that's okay. They got one. That's one weapon down. And again, that was Penn College's buy-up. They were expected to win that round. Any guns you get out of hand, that's good economic damage. So that was pretty big.
So now both teams on pretty even footing in terms of economy.
Yeah. These are the rounds that are going to start mattering, because this is where you're going to start to see, will that buildup of economy come through. They're both kind of on almost a full buy, I'd say, here. But good weapons. They have shield. They have utility. And this is where it's going to start mattering. These are the rounds you want to win, and that's really going to give an indication how the rest of this half is going to go. Pioneers, 3 rounds up from Penn College, 3 rounds away from match point. But again, Penn College on defense is going to be tough to break into. They were able to win pistol. Are they going to be able to win these rifle rounds? Well, this default might let us know if they're able to do that. If they can just get some sort of pick, find some sort of impact, might be easier. Ari knows that there's one outside tree, and creeping up. They have full control of mid, but right there, Spy waiting on the other side. They're gonna hold, but will they be able to find anything? It's gonna be Spy to find that first blood, and the second blood too. That spike down in middle. 3v4.
Oh my god, and Mango gets a nice double kill, and it's Creep alone again. Spy trying to run him down.
Creep finds 6 HP left, but probably feeling pretty good about that. Utility coming out, knows where at least one more is gonna try to use the shock dart to do some sort of damage.
But this is a rough spot, and Mango gets the kill through the wall. That's a big round for Penn.
Creep just had like all the utility in the world dumped on him right there.
Yeah, he was just stuck in a corner. They knew exactly where he was. And he got a kill, which is all you really can be expected to do in that situation. Point Park gonna be on a save round here. Well, Penn, Spy buying the op yet again.
And that's tough. They're gonna know the ops in play now, especially when they're on that light buy. But an operator on defense, we didn't see the operator come out from Ari last half, and that's gonna be tough. The op can really sit anywhere. I'm thinking A, I'm thinking mid. Those are not places you want to.
Oh my god! And Ari
now they know
dashes
the
on.
ops in play.
Oh my god! And Creep and the other Sova are right next to each other. Oh my god!
Pretty close. Looked for that last one, but couldn't quite find it. That's okay. They were on a save, but now they know the operator's in play.
And that is a rough round. Even though they are on a save, they weren't able to do like any damage. And we do see Point Park call a timeout here. And
That is a well-placed timeout, I think.
yeah, they're really struggling right now, which is to be expected. This is a very good defensive map. Point Park, they need to they can win this. They're right on the edge. They just need to close it out.
And this is and we've talked about this too, how they're, I mean, I think Pioneers are a strong team. They put a lot of rounds on the board right now, sitting at 9. They just need 3 more rounds to bring this to match point. But Those are going to be 3 hards, especially now they know there's an operator in play. And Penn College has been doing a really good job of just ticking closer and closer to tying the game up. And that's tough for the Pioneers. They don't have that economy built up right now. And each subsequent round that Penn College wins, it makes it easier and easier for them to be able to afford next rounds. And so that's a lot. It is a little bit of an uphill battle for the Pioneers. They have to make sure they're able to get some of those wins because it is going to be tough. 3 ultimates in play. This might be the time to use them. And again, they had that timeout come out.
And worth noting, with that op in play, Point Park is going to be scared to even go towards the middle part of this map.
Yes.
Because so many just long sight lines where the op excels.
I would be afraid to go mid.
We do see it get smoked off, and the spike is on the B side of the map with Ari and Clark.
A little bit of a default push coming out here, but the Pioneers are just so scared to peek any of these sight lines because they know that ops in play. You don't want to find yourself on the other end of it.
That's the real reason an op is so strong. It forces the team to just play entirely differently.
I mean, any weapon that can kill you, not even a headshot, but a body shot, that's scary.
Yeah. And we see Spy just holding mid. Clark
I'm so
pushing
nervous.
up.
I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
Oh
Don't
my
do it,
God.
Clark. Don't do it, Clark.
Oh! And he
They know where the
barely
hop
picks
is
it
now.
out.
They know where it is now. They're gonna smoke that off real quick. But
Oh my God!
that's crazy. Spy finds Creep with a lucky shot through the smoke. And now, still, we talked about being afraid of that op. They still definitely are.
That's insane. And Mango finds a
Spike
double
down,
kill
B.
and Spike. This is rough for Point Park. There's not that much they can do here. And Penn just electing to just sit on that Spike.
Not much you can do here if you're the
One
Pioneers.
enemy
In the timing on Daystar, Curse does get a kill on Spy. That's the op down, but they're going to be able to pick it back up, so not really much in the way of damage.
And that also means now that suddenly this game that Pioneers have been ahead this entire time, it's now tied. And Penn College doesn't look like they're going to stop that momentum anytime soon, Lynette.
Yeah, this is a scary spot to be in for Point Park. The team finally caught up to you, and now you're on a low buy. There's so much pressure here. And it's still very much a winnable game for either team. They just really need to make something happen. Oh, but unfortunate, the KO knife detects the entire team of Point Park. So we see them all rotating for Penn over to the A site, except for Sova, who's electing to hold mid. Ari gets taken out by Spy, that op, just terrifying. Coast pushes up and gets taken out by Chimp.
Yeah, this is a tough thing to push into. You don't have the weapons to deal with it. You have an op. You have the entire Penn College armada there.
And Spike is on the corner of sight.
What can you do? You can hope and you can pray.
One enemy
Oh my God.
Oh.
And Daystar direct hit by the shock dart. Unfortunate. And now we see Clark 1v4, half health. Can he make a miracle happen?
Look, if Clark can find one here, that's huge.
Barely dodges the op. Oh!
With the classic too. That's
And
Yeah.
Spy just runs him down. We see him there. He is not happy with that round.
I don't think so. But you know what? They didn't have buys. Like they did not have weapons. This is the round though. This is where it's gonna start to matter. They're buying here. This is a must-win round for the Pioneers. Otherwise, I fear it might be game over for them.
There is a very, very real chance this round right here decides the game.
Well, I think the Pioneers, they have 4 ultimates online. They have weapons in hand, but it looks like they're going to be playing right into this operator. If they can push together, maybe they can get the trade-off, but that's tough when you have a Jet who can dash out. Didn't activate it yet, and they're playing it so slow. They're just kind of waiting to creep up.
Oh, And the Silver drone does come out. They see the jet. Oh, and they force the jet off the angle. That's exactly how you wanted to do that.
That's exactly how you want to do it. That defender killjoy is going to come out, and they're going to be able to smoke off that operator too.
And Spy trying to get another kill through the smoke. Oh my god.
And it's creep again. That's tough.
Someone check this man's computer, please.
Someone check his PC.
2 kills through smokes for Spy. That's insane. But Point Park in a 4v4 able to take site and get the plant down.
Get the plant down, but it's a 4v4 retake.
Oh,
Huge shots coming out. Huge shots coming out. And able to find Spy in the back. That's operator down. That's all of Penn College down, and that's a round on the board for the Pioneers. That was a must-win round, and they did it.
That was such a huge round, and we do see them elect to leave that operator on the floor. They don't want to give another op to Penn if they die.
They don't. Unfortunately for them, though, they did the last 5 rounds in a row, so no damage done to the economy of Penn College at all, and Spy's just going to have another operator in hand, but they know that's a possibility. They know they have to be so careful. Pioneers able to tie it back up, but again, they have to bring it every round if they want a chance to. Both teams inching closer and closer to match point.
It does seem like Point Park might know where the op is. Oh, the timing, and it's a 1-for-1 trade in mid, down to a 4v4. Both teams do have at least one ult on hand, but Cypher is not in a position to ult for Penn College right now.
Oh.
And Spy with a nice pick onto Ari. That's devastating for Point Park.
I think the Pioneers now a little bit scared of that operator. I would be too. It's done a lot of damage this game.
And we do see Cursed, I believe, in a corner trying to catch the op out. Oh my god, and Daystar just wrong place, wrong time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Spy is crazy with the operator. That's tough to deal with, all down to creep here.
And he misses it, barely seeing the jet. Scaling up onto site, does he know the Silver's there?
Well, he does now. Mango gonna find creep, put an 11th on the board for Penn College. That can't feel good for the Pioneers right now.
This is a rough spot for them to be in.
This is a rough spot indeed.
We see Penn does have the money. They can just buy for the rest of the game without worry. And Point Park is going to be forced onto a save round here. This is a very important round, and they have to save.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of forced to. They're going to have to make sure they have enough for next round. Again, Penn College, if they win here, will be on match point, but if the Pioneers can win 2 in a row, they can bring it to overtime.
I think the goal for Point Park here is just get a few picks and try do what you can.
I mean, any damage you can do, it's good. It is a hit to the economy, but Penn College has such a build-up that even that is
damage to the economy isn't going to matter in this situation. They just need to play for picks.
Oh, Spy misses.
Oh my god.
But Clark doesn't really have the weaponry to just kind of spam and do
Ari does get a kill on OMX though. And the smoke comes out trying to force back this op. We do see the Omens embrace Rat, teleports across. Daystar gets one tapped by Mango, and Rat takes out Clark. Ari does get another kill onto Chimp though. Oh, and it's Ari in a 1v3. Can she make something happen? No, and runs straight into Spy's op.
Well, they did find 2.
They did find 2.
But it was thanks to Ari and an ultimate that came out. Now, suddenly forced onto match point. The Pioneers will be able to buy here, but they have to have a near perfect round.
Yeah, if they want to win this game, they need this round.
And well, they need to do it almost flawlessly too. Their economy not in a great position.
They can afford to lose 2 people max, or else they won't have full buys for next round, if there is a next round.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, and that operator's still in play. 32 kills for Spy, and a majority of them with the operator.
We do see, though, Spy holding A main. Well, the entirety of Point Park is grouped up B main. They do manage to dodge the op.
For now.
They scale up a B main behind the Silver drone, pushing out.
They're going really, really slow.
And the ult does come out from Point Park Sova. Does find damage onto the Omen. Ari pushes up, but gets hit by a Paranoia. Oh, and a nice kill on Mango. That's going to be sight.
That opens up sight, but the time they took gave the rest of Penn College time to rotate over, and now that operator's going to be coming on this flank. Clark might be stuck. Oh, stuck in the open. CS2 though is able to come, but it's hard when you're up against that operator.
They do have Daystar's Phoenix ult though. If they can make something happen with that. Creep gets a nice kill onto Spy.
Oh, Daystar is not going to be looking the right way, but it's okay. They're not pushing out.
1-for-1 trade. Daystar takes out OMX. Yes! And barely managing to claw that round out. That was such a close round. Point Park's Econ is going to be in a rough spot, though. Still on match point. Can they buy? They can, yes.
They can buy, not quite the buys, of course, they're hoping. You can see Curse not going to be able to afford a weapon, but Daystar has enough that they should be able to buy for Curse. But again, I mean, you know, just that buildup of economy Penn College has had this entire time. Still going to have that option. Still going to have these full weapons. I mean, again, Pioneer's going to have to do that once again. A little bit of a default coming out from them. I think they're just going to see where they can find damage. They know where the operator is now.
Aggressively scaling up to try and force this op back. They don't want to swing into the op. We do see, though, Spy also bought a Vandal.
Smart. Very, very, very smart.
Does Point Park expect that? Because they might... Oh! In Daystar, revenge for his teammate sprays Spy through a smoke. Now Spy knows how it feels.
And because Daystar, had that ult, that's huge. Curse find another one. They're opening it up. It looks like overtime might be closer and closer to fruition, and they have sight. They're going to be able to get this plane down.
And we do see Sova and Phoenix were delayed rotating, coming up B main right now. Rat maybe going for an aggressive play with the ultimate. I'm not sure. They teleport directly into the middle of the site
well, I
for
think
info.
It's for info. It's going to be hard. They're going to have to work off that info, but there's 5 members of the Pioneers that Penn College are going to have to deal with. They want to put it away here. They don't want to bring it to overtime. They don't want to give Pioneers a chance, but it's tough. Time is ticking down, and Creep unfortunately smoked off, but
nice flash from Daystar.
Allow them to come out.
Oh, and Chip takes out Clark and Ari. It's down to a 2v1.
They know where this last one is. They know exactly where Embrace Red is. No reason to push if you don't have to. But
and Rat gets sprayed down.
Save. The Pioneers bringing it to overtime on map 1.
Oh my god. They played that round so well. I got so scared at the end there when they began to fall. But managing to bring it to overtime.
I've seen quite a few Pioneer overtimes, and what's making me feel okay about this is that it is map 1. I think sometimes, especially when this is map 2 or a decider when it goes to overtime, well, just not quite enough time to really keep that energy up. But I think they have the potential now. They're gonna have to deal with Spy, who's not getting an offensive operator this time. 33 and 16 though.
You can buy an op in overtime, but that is just such a risky play, and I don't think they're willing to risk it.
If you're Spy, is it a risk for Spy? Spy's been pretty clean
True.
with it.
Spy has been devious with that operator.
I would not be surprised to see it come out on their defensive half. I feel like Spy might bring it out.
Oh, ooh. Clark gets really weak, able to teleport out. Can he make something happen?
They know where to check. They know where to check.
And Daystar dies to OMX's Molly. It's a 3v5.
This is tough because remember, defense is the stronger half, but Penn College is doing a great job of clearing them out. But remember, it's overtime. Nothing to save. Ari and Creep, the last two left. The 2 RGLs of Pioneers, are they going to be able to do it? Spike is planted. They're going to have to start retaking. Not a ton of utility to work with, and there's 5 members of Penn College to deal with.
Spy is incredibly weak, but their aim is enough to make up for it. And Frostfire being held.
Oh, Creep. Nice try, nice try. Ari going to spray through, finds one, but doesn't matter. 4 more left alive, and pretty decisively, Penn College puts that first round of overtime on the board. The Pioneers are going to have to bring it, and it's going to be tough. But if they can play like they did, towards the end of.
And there it is. Spy with the op.
I knew it. But the thing is, I don't think that's a risky buy for Spy. I genuinely don't think that's a risky buy. I think that's an investment.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to pay off.
You know, if I'm Spy, I honestly think Spy might be better on a chamber pick instead of that Jet.
Well, but the thing about Jet is you have those dashes to easily get away.
Chamber
Similar
does have
to
the
Chamber,
teleport,
the TP. But I think Jet was kind of the opping agent for so long. I still think a little bit better suited for Ascent. I think what the Pioneers can play off of is if Spy gets a little bit overheated, they can kind of use that to their advantage, but that smoke's fading. Spy just looking for someone to come mid, but I know the Pioneers are scared. They know that there's a possibility in operators in play. They would be correct.
Does Sova see Omen both on very long sight lines?
Oh,
Oh, terrifying. The op looked him dead in the eyes.
Spy just does such a great job of like not putting themselves out in the open, but now they know where the op is and they're gonna cluster up here on B. They don't want to push that. I wouldn't either.
It does seem like Penn might have the read, though, with 3 members situated over towards the B site. 2 of them are holding a crossfire, and KO rotating over through spawn. The hit comes out. Spy takes out Creep, though. Ari does manage to get a kill, though, evening it up. But Clark is incredibly weak.
Fire
So huge! And it's going to be a 3v2. Omen is incredibly weak. This is such a tense round. Clark gets detected on 10 health. Is he able to get this kill?
Oh, not quite, but enough damage and enough intel to say exactly where that last KO is. Pioneers have Spike, Pioneers have time, and Pioneers have Omen. They're bringing it to a second round
Oh
of
my
OP.
god. That was such an intense round. But Point Park had such a good sight hit. That first kill by Spy was very, very scary, but they did exactly what they need to do. They lost pressure on one part of the map, so they sped up their hit and took it on the other side. And now, back on defense, Spy not buying an op this time, but Creep buying the Odin. Whew. And this is such a tense game.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Penn College realizes that we have the birthday buff on our team.
Creep does start the round off by spraying through mid. Oh, and Daystar with an early pick on Spy. That is huge.
That's huge. If there's someone you need to suss out early, it's Spy.
And Creep picks out Mango.
Pioneers in that man advantage, and Penn College still struggling to make their way towards a site. It looks like they're inching towards B.
But the Killjoy is set up on B. She isn't there, but the Omen is right next to it, and she's also right outside market.
There's a lot of Killjoy utility Penn College is going to have to deal with, and they don't have the numbers and the manpower to do it, and that's going to be enough of a tell to tell Point Park to rotate. Embrace Rat and team just struggling to make their way
Rat
in.
gets sprayed down just over half health, but Coast takes a lot of damage. But Point Park is rotating in. Clark takes out Rat, but gets traded by Chimp, and it's going to be a 4v2.
First taking an aggressive spot on site here. They're going to have to clear them out. And
When you
Curse knows there's one. Isn't going to be able to find Mr. Chimp, but is at least going to be able to look. No.
Oh
There's
my
one on
god.
site. They know where the last 2 are. It's all down to Creep. He knows where they both are.
If anyone can do it, though, it's Creep. Both of them are low health as well.
Gonna deal with the one in market first.
Get
Finds
the kill.
one. Going to be able to upgrade to that Vandal. Time is ticking. Only Mr. Chimp left to deal with. And that is going to tell them exactly where he's not. But a lot for Creep to clear out. Doesn't know where to look.
No.
And Mr. Chimp going to find it. 4 for the round and securing that first round of second overtime for Penn College. That
Mr.
one is tough.
Mr. Chimp went huge there.
Mr. Chimp secured on the round.
The team was down, and Mr. Chimp just put that round on his back.
I think a lot of what it's coming down to too, and both teams are guilty of this at different points during the game, but you still have to make sure you're clearing your corners. It doesn't matter if you have the numbers advantage. It doesn't matter if you have utility advantage or site advantage. You have to check your corners. You cannot afford to run in with no weapon.
We do see Spy with the op again. Point Park electing to just ignore mid this round as they scale up B main.
I hear Creep yelling, go, 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 go. It's going to be a fast push on B. They're going to make their way in.
Ari gets taken out by Mango, though.
Tough.
Curse takes out Rat, and it's a big brawl on site. Clark takes out Mango and OMX. That's huge. Curse is in a scary situation.
Still an operator in play.
Curse does get the kill, but it's traded out.
All down to Spy, but if anyone's going to clean this up for Penn College and bring them home, it's Spy, but they're not going to be able to do good. Crossfire coming in. Pioneers bring it back to our third round of OT.
Our director of the booth jumping up, celebrating. This is such an intense game, and this is only game one.
It's a close match. You know what? I said this is going to be a good one. I think the Pioneers have a chance to win, but they're going to have to bring it again and again. Remember, defense is the easier half now. I think it's going to come down to whoever can win their offensive half, but neither of these teams able to win their defensive halves so far. And Ari's bringing out the operator this time. This is what we've been waiting to see all game. Oh, to win it now. Penn College knows exactly where the operator is, and another warning shot from Ari to scare them off. Creep posted up aggressively.
No, the timing!
Caught with utility out. Spy with that first blood going to give them that numbers advantage. They're making
paranoia
their way
comes out
on
from Clark.
the site, but that paranoia not going to find anyone. Clark just trying to isolate, but only finds one before getting traded out. Penn College still has a numbers advantage. They have sight. They're going to get this plant down.
That one whiffed shot from Ari might have decided this entire round.
Also, and then Clark and Tree pushing out with utility out. That's tough. Flash going to come out, but sprays from Embrace Shot not going to find anyone.
And it's a one-for-one trade.
Oh,
that's please they slide through the wall. And it's Ari, one health.
With an operator just looking to find one headshot, but they know exactly where Ari is. That's so tough, but Noah's saving here in overtime. Ari, gonna have to try your best. It's your birthday, Ari. I believe.
Oh.
But not going to be this time.
And that's a devastating round for Point Park. Back on match point yet again. This is such an intense match. And Spy yet again bringing out that op for every
36,
defense.
21, and 7. I mean, you put an op in Spy's hands, and I don't know. I just know that I don't want to go any site that Spy's holding.
And this is just terrifying for Point Park. It does seem like Penn finally caught on to the fact Point Park loves that B site, but Point Park with the read for all five pushing up A where only the KO is. But do they push in time? They have an opening, but they might be pushing a bit too slowly.
Some utility going to be to slow them off on their push. They're gonna have to start letting their team know that, hey, this is an A hit. Pioneers able to make their way on to site.
Chimp gets first blood, but Clark in a great spot pushes up.
Sees that. Ooh, saw that operator, but they don't know Clark's there. One,
Oh!
the other, but that's okay. A teammate there, right, to trade him out, and now
And it's a 1v1, Ari versus Rat.
Embrace Rat.
The paranoia comes out, but misses.
Ooh. Oh, let's go. Ari cleaning up that round. We're going to round 4 of overtime. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
These rounds are too close.
This is too intense. I can't handle much more of this. A very risky play from Embrace Rat. They were praying that paranoia hit, but they just missed it.
Like Ari not bringing that operator out this time. Prefers to stick with the Vandal.
But we do see Creep with the Odin in on B. Are they going to go for the spray through the wall? Does it look like it? Oh, are they? Oh, they are. But last minute, Penn decides to change up and head over towards A.
Looks like they're going to start inching up towards mid. And Pioneers, I think, are so hesitant to really look there because they know there's a chance that they could bring out that attack-sided operator. But Killjoy set up here on A site this time, Daystar. Just not looking the right way, but definitely hears them. Saw that clone in a tough position, but Daystar just waiting for somebody to peek out and find Spy. Knows there's one more there.
Daystar goes huge and takes out Spy and Mango, trading out Ari.
Daystar knows there's one. Jen looking for another, finds one more. Now all down to KO. Is Omps going to be able to do it? They know where Omps is.
And this is a rough spot for the KO. They can't really do much, but they have to try and take a trade right now before they get pushed by all three members. They push up, see Cursed, get the kill, but is knocked down to 30 HP.
Well, that's exactly what you need to do in that situation. You need to be able to just isolate those shots. Gonna bring out that ultimate and just hope they can isolate a little bit more, but it's hard when you're in that disadvantage and this diffuse is gonna come off. And for the first time, the Pioneers have won their defensive half here on overtime. If they can just put this next one away, well, that'll be the first Point Park victory of the series.
That was a great try from OMX. They just couldn't do much because they took too much damage in their duel with Cursed. If they'd won that, I think there's a very real chance they win that round.
Well, they also were kind of in a bad position, unfortunately, for them. But yeah, I mean, they played that right. You need to be a little bit aggressive and try to isolate. They were able to isolate one, but that's tough when you know two more are coming. But
Mango buying the Odin.
Get that first one, and for the first time, we don't see Spy with that operator.
I think Spy is just playing mind games around the op. Mango holding this dog on B. If you push up there, that is a terrifying wallbang spot.
Because you don't know where to shoot back.
It does seem like Point Park is scaling up, but if they are quiet, they might be able to sneak past the Odin. And Mango does fall off the angle.
Pioneers just inching their way up. They're going to start making their way towards site here. Only have a Sova to deal with, but they don't know that quite yet, so they're going to take their time clearing everything. A great paranoia going to stop Mango, and at least they know where Mango is. That Odin going to find one,
huge.
Odin going to find two. Can it find another? Daystar still there waiting.
Creep does take out OMX, and Clark is going to get the plant down, but it's a tough spot. The man advantage in Penn's favor.
Daystar didn't really play aggressively off of those flashes, and that's going to be tough. All down to Creep here, who's not even on the site. Can they isolate? No, they can't.
Mango gets a 4K, winning that round for Penn.
The defuse going to come off, and we're going to round 5 of overtime.
This is an insane game. These teams are dead even.
I think both of these teams seem to do better when things are stacked against them.
Yeah, both teams seem to just pop off when they're on opposing match point.
Well, both teams inching closer to that magic number 18. We'll see, will we reach the 20s? Well, there's a strong possibility.
If it keeps going like this, we might. And Spy inching up mid. The spike is outside B main as a default from Penn. Slowly just coming up, taking up space. Spy does see Daystar, but isn't able to get a kill. And Spy right below Creep. Does he know? Yes, he does, and he wallbangs Creep. That is a big first blood, but gets traded by Clark.
That's how you want to play as a team. If you're Penn College, they knew where Creep was, and Spy was in the position to get that kill. That's unfortunate, but Cursed gonna equalize it. It's a 3v3, but Penn College are still struggling to make their way on to site and let Killjoy utility on B. Ari's holding this here on A.
Does Mr. Chimp have the read? Because if they push out, they'll be in a rough spot.
Well, it looks like Ari knew somebody was coming true, but now finds two before getting traded out by Mr. Chimp. All down to Mr. Chimp, who's had a 4K before in overtime. They're going to have to do it again.
But gets spotted by Cursed.
The Pioneers, though, are not in a position where they're together. Mr. Chimp going to find one and knows exactly where Daystar is. It's all down to Daystar. Can Daystar put this round away for the Pioneers? Well, a little bit more time on the board, and now it looks like Mr. Chimp not electing to push that is going to have a free site to get that plant down. Daystar going to have to start making their way over, and unfortunately Daystar not there. No more flashes to work with, but does still have a wall, and now knows they're going to have to make their way over there towards the B site. Mr. Chimp, there's a lot of utility there. Can
Daystar, the rookie, make it happen? This is so much pressure for him, but I have faith in him. I've seen him win situations like this before.
This is a tough ask, though.
The wall does come out, seeming to try and direct Cypher's attention to the other side. Does get seen. They both know where each other are.
Mr. Chimp can just play time here. Time is ticking. Daystar is playing Ring Around the Rosie, but Mr. Chimp just gonna play time. No time left. Mr. Chimp finds the kill and has time. The clutch is gonna come out. Penn College puts this first round of OT on the board, and now Pioneers have to win one more just to stay in this game.
That was a great clutch from Mr. Chimp. And in that 1v1 against Daystar, he played it so well, just letting the clock run down, forcing Daystar to take a bad fight. And now we do see Point Park back on offense. Looks like they are gearing up for an A hit this time. But it seems like Penn might have the lead with 3 members on the A side of the map. And the knife does come out outside. And they do know nobody is in B main. So now it does seem like they are confident in this A hit.
The Pioneers struggled on their attacking half, but they're going to have to bring it now to stay in. Will they clear out Spy here? Well, looks like Utility will, but Spy just going to elect to wait, but it doesn't matter. Too much damage, too much time, and that's a huge pick for the Pioneers, who are able to make their way on site.
Spy trying to bait himself out. Coast gets the kill on Chimp. That's the 2 big names other than this Mango. But OMX takes out Creep only to get traded by Coast. It's a 4v2. Mango slowly scaling up with the Odin. Takes out Clark.
That Killjoy coming out is huge. That plant's going to come down, and now Penn College just down to the 2 of them. Going to have to make their way on to site. That lockdown did secure them that site, but unfortunately Pioneers didn't know just how far away Penn College was.
Both members of Penn are pushed up in heaven, whereas Point Park is a bit more spread out, maybe trying to play it safe. Curse pushes up.
One, looking for the second one, can't quite find it.
Can Curse get the ace though?
I think Curse can. Just waiting, looking for it, not gonna find it, but that's okay. Daystar going to clean it up, and Pioneers just barely stay in the series. We're going to another round of OT.
Coast does run out of ammo, barely missing that ace, but Daystar manages to save the round. This is so close. 40 kills for Spy. That's insane.
Pioneers again forced to fight another day. This is the longest game of Valorant the Pioneers have played, at least, and well, will it take their toll on them? The energy seems to be staying up with them, and that's a good sign for the Pioneers, who have struggled, like we said.
Coast does spot Spy dashing onto site. They seem to be playing retake, which is a bit of a risky play. Clark in a terrifying spot right next to Mango. Can't get the kill. And Rat is going to get the plant off.
Gonna make it a little bit harder for the Pioneers to retake on to site here, but Curse knows there might still be someone back up waiting for the team so they can all push together. And that's what a lot of this has come down to, is these teams not in positions where they can trade each other out.
Mango is in the corner, gets pushed out, gets poked down by Ari, is able to get some damage but taken out. Spy takes out Coast. It's going to be a 3v4. Point Park having to retake into this. Daystar aggressively pushing up into Chimp and taken out. OMX takes out Ari. It's down to just Creep, and he can't make a miracle happen. Match point yet again with a team ace for Penn.
Once again, Pioneers on their back foot, but they've been able to stay in it this far. Can they do it again? Well, I think they just can, but they're going to have to keep their heads in the game. They're going to have to keep that momentum and that energy up. Penn College want to finish this up right here. They want to bring this win home here on Ascent and move on to Split. But Pioneers just aren't quite ready to let that happen.
This is just such a battle between these teams. Just back and forth the entire time. Point Park does seem to be gearing up towards the B site. They do break the recon dart, so Penn does know they're there. Spy pushing up mid, which is scary if you're Point Park, because you don't know if he has that operator yet.
Pioneers don't know if he's mid yet either. They're gonna inch up here on B. Lots of utility.
And so much util coming out. Ari dashes onto site but gets caught by the paranoia. Spy does take out Creep but gets traded by Clark, and it's kills for both sides. Daystar taking out Mango. It's a 4v3 right now. Mr. Chimp, does he know? He takes out Ari. Oh, and it's a big trade. It's now Embrace Rat in a 2v1.
Embrace Rat going to have to bring it all. Has a good bit of utility, but Pioneers don't want to let it happen. Unfortunately, though, Pioneers not playing together, not holding across, but time is ticking, and Curse gonna find Embrace Rat, bring us to the next round of OT, and look how excited they look. They're still in it.
Both teams just locked in. Neither is willing to let this one go. This is an insane game.
I think they both want it so badly. The Pioneers fighting for their first win of the season. They want to go home with a bang. It's Ari's birthday, but remember, for Penn College, this is a redemption game. They got swept last week. They don't want to let that happen again. Third place right now in the division. They want to show why they're an important team, but man, things are looking so close. Two very strong teams. Two teams who want this so badly, who need this so badly for that confidence, especially going into split.
And it does seem like Penn is gearing up outside B. Ari wastes the dash, and Penn is going to push up B main. Both teams playing it a bit slow, but they are all five. Daystar does now know they're on B. Gets forced back by all the U2.
Daystar waiting, knows there's one, but Spy gonna clear out Daystar.
And it's
that
now
means they have sight.
Ari is in mid, does know Chimp is there in a 1v1 in mid. Is she able to get the kill? Mango takes out Cursed, Clark takes out Chimp, and it's now a 3v4. Spike is down though, and it's gonna be a difficult retake for Point Park.
Fortunately, no real flashes to work with, but it
Ari
is equalized.
Does get the kill and spots the Sova backside. Clark takes out Spy. They take the numbers advantage.
Finds one. Oh! They're not going to be able to get this defuse off the first round of this overtime, thanks to a 4K from Clark, going to Point Park. 19 on the board. Can make it 20.
Clark goes huge. That's another 4K in this game. Clark is locked in right now.
There have been so many OT rounds where someone gets a 4K. Incredible.
This is the most intense game of Valorant I think I've ever watched.
Well, definitely the longest game of Valorant for the Point Park Pioneers. Can they close it out here and put the first map win on the board? Well, they want to so badly. They're so excited. They're so happy. But Penn College, I don't think, is ready to admit defeat just yet. It's going to be tough.
Has been really strong on these offensive rounds, though. So they might be in a position to end it right here. Spy pushes up, but gets...
So aggressive.
Oh, catches Creep, but Daystar does take out OMX, and it's going to be a 4v4. Ari does begin to push up. This is a risky play. Dashes out. Oh, it's a nice kill.
Oh.
Traded by Chimp. It's a 3v3.
That was enough time for all of Penn College to rotate over here, and Point Park gonna have to make a decision. Do we want to keep pushing this? It's a 2v2, but I think they're still gonna commit to here. They know exactly where Spy is, and look, you can see that rotation starting to come through, but Spy finds Clark. It's now all down to Curse. What is Curse gonna do? Curse has bomb. Looks like maybe a fake rotate coming out, hoping to find someone just peeking into them. But that alarm bot
barely
was triggered.
misses.
They know, and this huge wraparound could be huge. Finds one. Can't find the other. Penn College manages to stick in this, and we're going to another round of OT. Well played by Curse, but in the end, Penn College just won it a little bit too badly.
19-19. This is actually insane.
Pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we have to remake this. I've been in one other collegiate match that maxed out I think it went like 54 rounds or something. Maxed out the entire game OT, and the lobby had to be remade. And you know what? If there's ever a series where I thought that could happen, it's gonna be this one. I mean, just inching closer and closer. Will we have more rounds of OT than regular? We'll have to see. But Mr. Chimp finds that first. OMX finds the second, and now things looking tight once again for Point Park Esports.
Daystar does find one, but gets traded out, and its coast goes down to Mango Creep in a 1v4 situation.
Time
does
for
have the
a
Odin.
4K. Just kidding. Spy gonna find Creep. Now, Pioneers have to win this round, not to win the game, but to bring us to another round of OT.
This is insane. 20-19 right now.
Back and forth, back and forth.
With a game going this long, I could have played like half a League of Legends match.
Well, a couple more rounds of OT, and this would have been twice as long as a regular Valorant map. All rounds played.
Yeah, Point Park gearing up towards the A site. They have been just dominant over on the B side of the map, and Penn is scared of that. The Cypher Cam does spot the Silver Drone, though. Little bit of robot greetings.
Inching their way up. Creep. Gonna use some utility.
And we do see Coast trying to find a pick in mid, if possible, as the rest of the team pushes up onto the site. Ari dashes in. Is able to find Chimp, and that is a big first blood. But OMX does take out Creep. Clark gets the trade, though. Coast with a nice flank and gets 2. That's huge. Oh my god, and they take it to... What OT is this? 7?
Well, it's, what, 12, 12? So we're at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 8 rounds of OT. That makes us, what, 9?
Yeah. Oh my god.
We're already twice as long, twice as many rounds, more than twice as many rounds as Penn College played in one of their maps last week. That went 13-3. That's only 16 rounds on the board total. We're already at 40. Looks like we just missed the beginning, but Ari got that first pick, and now Pioneers have that man advantage. They're just going to kind of hold down sight. Penn College is going to have to make the decision. Do we continue to push up here, or are we going to rotate? But it looks like they're deciding to commit. Going to be hard when you have to go against the Pioneers. Spy, though, not clearing it out, and Daystar going to find that before getting traded out. Puts a little bit more time
Clark
on
gets
the board
Mango,
for the
but
Pioneers.
traded. Coast takes out OMX. It's trades back and forth, and now it's Chimp in a 1v2. Coast and Creep. Oh! And Coast with a kill, sending it to match point yet again. 21-20.
Will Penn College be able to put a win here and keep themselves in the series? Will we see another round of OT, or will the Pioneers bring map 1 home?
Is Spy gonna drop 50?
You know what? I think Spy can drop 50. I'm gonna say it. I think Spy could. I think Spy wants to.
One good round from Spy and he hits 50, which will be the first time I've ever seen 50 kills in a comp match.
Well, something tells me Spy might be used to it. Such a strong player, especially on that Ascent jet, but has elected these past few rounds not to bring out that operator, and I don't blame Spy. Pioneers inching their way here on to site, clearing everything out, and Spy just waiting for the perfect opportunity to dash in. Not gonna happen, but is gonna break door. They know somebody's tree.
And it's now a 5v5, but Point Park does get the plant. And we do see Clark is in mid, going for a bit of a flank. Barely misses seeing Spy. And it's a
Pioneers
1-for-1 trade.
able to get these post plants positions, but Mr. Chimp wants to keep their team in it yet again. Curse finds one, finds another. It's a 1v1, but time is ticking. All down to Clark here. Somebody on bomb. Mango just waiting. Now knows where Clark is. Huge teleport coming out.
Oh!
Mango has to push that.
Barely not able to lock it out.
I don't know that there's enough time. We can't.
Is there
quite
time?
get- It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
1 second left.
Oh,
Such a close round. They almost put that one away.
man, just 1 second. 1 second longer if they could have stalled. They're staying in the game. Ugh, we are going on to another round of OT. Who's gonna find 22 and who's gonna find 23?
23, the number to win it.
Hopefully, or we might see another round of OT.
That
coming
is
out
true.
Again, 24 would be crazy. That's two 12-12 games. That would be insane.
That's enough time to play a whole series.
That's enough time to play like 3 of my games if you lose quickly.
So all of your games.
Yeah, unfortunately. But not like the Pioneers. They're going to get a win here for Ari's birthday. I feel it. I feel like they're going to win a map. But Penn College not going to make it easy. They're inching their way up. They want to make it being a little bit aggressive. Took all that space mid. Ari just waiting for someone to push out, and it's going to be Mango. Ari sees that gun. Ari finds Mango. Has first blood, but that's still in mid, and Spy inching their way up site, going to find one, but not another. Creep with that trade, and now it's a 3v4. They're trying to get on site, but not quite made it yet, and Curse sees his head. Just 2 members left of Penn College.
Does see both of them in main, but not willing to take the gunfight when he's alone. Elects to back off, wait for the team. Does look like Penn might be electing to rotate. Cypher is 2 off their ultimate if they can get the plant down, but also on 36 health. Cursed is in heaven. Does he see Chimp?
Well, Mr. Chimp knows exactly where Phoenix is coming from.
Into all the Phoenix utility, only to get sprayed through the wall by Cursed.
It was a decoy. Embracer out with 2 HP. What are they going to be able to do? They have to start isolating. Not going to be able to find one. Not enough HP. Curse finds that. And again, first round of overtime on the board for Pioneers. Now the onus is on Penn College. Will they be able to stay in this game? Will we be looking at 24 for Pioneers, or will we go to one more round of OT?
Spy is seeming to lose a bit of gas. Spy only 1 kill in the past couple rounds.
Well, Spy needs 2 here. 2 here to make it to 50.
I'm worrying Spy may be losing steam. Which, to be fair, that is completely justified in a game this long.
Completely justified. I wouldn't blame them if they were. This is just incredible gameplay, but now Penn College probably starting to feel a little bit of that desperation. They have to win to stay in this series, but Pioneers have the opportunity to bring this
Spy
home.
gets taken out by Coast for first blood. That's a huge pick.
Pioneers have the opportunity here to inch up and look. They're rotating over Clark with another. Now Penn College suddenly on defense with just 3 members. And look, Pioneers sticking together. They're going to push up as a team, so if they can get these trades off, even if they're dead, that's all you can hope for. Cypher utility, though, is going to be here on site. That Paranoia just missed Clark, who has 5 HP.
Oh my god.
And now, oh,
Clark nearly dies to Phoenix. Oh my god! And Point Park wins it! Oh my god! Such an insane game.
that's crazy. The Pioneers take home map 1, and look at their face. That was a long game, but that makes that victory so much sweeter. 23-21, the longest game of Valorant the Pioneers have ever seen, but all worth it in the end because they're bringing home map 1.
That was such an intense game. They had to stay locked in for so long, and it was such a battle from both teams. Spy dropping 48 kills. That was actually insane.
Crazy. I mean, just incredible gameplay from both teams, but better gameplay coming out here from the Pioneers, and they're taking map 1. But yeah, I mean, that was an incredible series, and there's so much to talk about because that game went on for so long.
So many clutches from so many players, so many huge plays.
Yeah, I mean, especially in overtime, we had a lot of 4Ks coming out, but just the entire series, I mean, again, longest game of Valorant that the Pioneers have ever played in a regulation series, but man, I mean, just, I feel like all 10 players had a chance to shine here. The game was so long that like we got to see everyone, and it's really amazing that everyone had a chance to kind of pop off and shine.
Yeah, every single player had their like pop off moments, and that's just so exciting to see. But Point Park barely snatching that victory.
I mean, it was close, and I mean, right? How many rounds of overtime did we watch? A lot. So incredibly close. And you know, Lynette, I have to wonder, what do we have in store for Split? Because I don't think I've seen this close of a matchup from any of the teams in this division so far.
I don't think I've ever seen a matchup that close in anything.
I mean, incredible. Me personally, when I'm in a ranked game, I like to vote for a draw. Personally,
You
I'm
disappoint
one of those.
me.
Well, it depends how I'm doing in the game. If I'm doing poorly, I have a lot more to lose. But Pioneers on top, and well, I mean, they're gonna be able to take this. But I mean, even looking, I mean, it was just like back and forth, back and forth. The Pioneers had that buffer where they were ahead for so long, but once Penn College were able to just tie it up there on their defensive half, well, things were not looking great for the Pioneers, but they were able to stick through it. And what I really think that came down to was winning those 2 pistol rounds.
Those pistol rounds were what kept them in the game when they were beginning to fall behind.
That won them the game. Winning both pistols won them the game.
And then to drag it to overtime when everything's against you and you're down.
I mean, like, again, I don't think most people realize like how close that was, how many rounds of OT. I mean, just the like mental fortitude you need to stick into this and stick it through. We've talked before how one thing that the Pioneers have a hard time working with is that stamina and keeping the momentum up. But when they're doing well and they have the energy, they're able to stick through, and they were able to do it here. But I mean, great plays coming out from both teams. That was a tough series. Definitely a victory deserved for the Pioneers, but I don't know that that's enough to feel comfortable going into Split, which is Penn College's map pick, and look how close this was. They have to be on their A game going into the next map.
I
sure.
would not be surprised to see this to a game, go to a game 3. These teams just seem so dead even.
I'll be honest, I'm very much expecting a Pearl, especially to be this close on your map pick. I think Penn College has a good chance of winning Pearl. However, the Pioneers are coming off of this momentum. And remember, last week, Penn College got swept pretty badly. They just lost this map. Will that affect their mentality? We won't really know until we get into Split, but the Pioneers turned up when it mattered, and they were able to clutch here, and, well, a victory well deserved.
Yeah, that was just such an insane game.
Incredible. Well, that's not all the Valorant we have. We're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, we'll see these 2 incredibly close teams duke it out there on Split. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 2. everyone, we are back and we're actually already in game and agent select right now. So you guys don't have to listen to us talk for too long. We're going to head right into that and see what they're picking here on Split. But in the meantime, you get to look at our beautiful faces.
We do see Point Park going for an interesting team, the Astra and Fade. I know Astra is actually a really common pick on this map, but she's really hard to play well. And then we see an interesting pick on Penn side with the Yoru.
Well, I'm so excited. I think Clark does well on Astra, and Astra for so long, first of all, was the meta. She's such a great agent. I think she's kind of been reworked, and the meta's been kind of reworked a little bit, but when you have somebody who can play Astra, so strong, excited to see it. And with the exception, of course, of Fade and Astra, similar team comp. Of course, we have Curse switching to that Cypher rather than the KJ, and I think that's what we see on Split. But yeah, you're right. Looking over at Penn College, I'm excited. We actually have a double initiator, which I love, and I think Sky is such a strong initiator on Split. I'm excited to see that come out, but I'm excited to see what the Pioneers have in store. They want to bring it home in two.
Something worth noting for Penn is that Spy and Chimp are actually swapping roles. Spy going from being the duelist to the Cypher, whereas Chimp is now picking up the duelist role.
I wonder if maybe for Penn College, if Spy was their opper, and when there's an opportunity to play a Chamber or a Jet, they put Spy in that role. But since there's not really a need for an opping agent here on Split, I'm able to kind of play off and use that Cypher utility. But yeah, that will be interesting to see. Will changing the kind of roles, having a little role swap come through, will that be tough to deal with? I don't know. Very much could be. We've seen the Pioneers do that in the past, and it's been tough.
Yeah, but we're going to be getting into this game shortly. Both teams with pretty interesting comps. Fade, not really a super common pick in the current meta of really anything. So, exciting to see that here.
I think sometimes, too, playing off meta means that your opponents aren't always ready for that.
But yeah, just a few more moments and we should be getting into the game. That first game definitely took a lot out of both teams. So I'm interested to see how they're able to handle this second game.
Well, we had a little bit of trouble getting into the lobby, but it looks like we're in there now, and I think this is going to be a really important round to look at. The pistol rounds really are what allowed Point Park to win that last map, so definitely going to be important to win pistol here.
And we do see two members of Penn electing not to buy guns, but to instead buy shield, which would be an interesting choice, but on the Yoru, oh no, never mind.
We finally got into lobby, but it looks like we're in a little bit of a pause, just some technical issues, but I think that should be resolved shortly. There it is. Clock is ticking down, and, well, now teams are getting ready to get into it.
Nothing major, just some typical Point Park internet moments. But here, we'll be getting into this pistol round. Let's see if Point Park can start off this game as strongly as they did the last one.
Yeah, definitely will be important to see, but the Pioneers feeling comfortable after that last win for sure. I know they're hyped, and I'm expecting to see a pistol round victory going to them again. They are starting on defense, so no need to get too aggressive. Spy falling right into Cypher traps.
And Coast getting the pick on the Sky. Just great start to the round, but Ari and I believe Coast are both very low. Clark also getting taken down into the red. Not much help between these two teams right now.
Right there.
No, indeed, but still, numbers advantage going to go to Point Park, and Ari finds one, can't find the other, not enough health, but that's okay. Clark finds one more, and now all down to Embrace Rat, who can't do anything. First pistol round going to the Pioneers. Start of early momentum.
That was a nice shot from Clark at the end. On 10 health, just barely able to take out the Omen before they go down.
Great shots, great shots. Good positioning as well. And now Pioneer's able to buy up here again. Should have no problem winning the second round here.
Although we have seen upsets on these rounds happen before, and I wouldn't be surprised if Penn makes something happen.
Especially on their map pick.
We do see them seeming to be gearing up with all 5 in mid as they storm up towards Mail.
They know to shoot that Cypher trip, but looks like not going to be going towards Mel instead
And
going towards
Daystar
Vent.
is just flooded by 3 members.
That doesn't
Clark
mean they're going to be able to recover a weapon. Clark doing their best to stop this.
and Cursed comes in to save Clark, also getting a pick. Oh my god, and Clark gets another, but gets taken out by Mango.
One enemy remaining.
Creep takes out Mango, and now it's OMX in a 1v2. But he is getting flanked by Ari. Do they know? No, and they get taken out by Ari.
Not the way the Pioneers wanted to win. Only going to be able to take 2 guns into the next round, but a win on the board is a win on the board.
Then again, losing a round like that isn't that big of a deal because you can typically just go into your bonus and play behind the people who do have weapons. And if they go down, you just pick up the weapons they dropped.
True. Definitely helps when you have more weapons that you can bonus with, but I don't think that's what's on the mind of the Pioneers right now. They just know that they put 2 on the board and they needed that.
Penn College electing to buy all Vandals but all Light Shield as well. Their econ is stretched a bit thin already. If they can win this round though, it'll make up for it. Mango get first blood with a nice pick on creep in mid.
Cursed. Saw that Yoru clone hit the utility and knows not to peek off of that quite yet, and it's going to be hard to peek in these long sight lines, so Cursed electing to wait till they push sight.
Oh, and they do teleport over to the B site with that Yoru. It was just a really good fake. And Penn is going to get the plant down. It is a 3v5 right now. Point Park just looking to get what econ damage they can.
Don't really have the greatest weapons to work with, but hasn't stopped them in the past, but now they're working against the second factor, which is time.
And Daystar does get seen. Does the person in Mail realize though? Yeah, they do. And Daystar gets taken out. And it's going to be a flawless round for Penn. But that was the Pioneers' bonus round. They could afford to lose that.
Yeah, I mean, this is typically how we see those first 3 rounds go. Obviously, not always. We saw the Pioneers won Penn's buy-up last time, but a 2-1 scoreline, not unusual. However, I think the Pioneers would have liked to find a couple there and take some of those weapons out of hand. Again, you don't want to let that economy build up. We saw from both teams last map how dangerous that can be.
Both teams now, though, going into a full buy. This is going to be the first standard round of the game. Let's see what happens. Clark spots 2 with the jump peak and elects to back off. Creep, my bad. Does see Spy. No damage between the 2 of them, though.
No reason to over-aggress, especially when you have these weapons in play. Creep just waiting for someone to peek out and, well, knows somebody's there. That haunt was destroyed, but
Ooh.
Spy with a nice shot, and
OMX takes out Clark, and it's now a man advantage for Penn, but Ari does get a kill. Can they find another? No, they
Ooh,
dashed the
dashes
wrong way.
right into that bullet. Ooh, feels bad, man. I do the same thing when I play. I always expect it to be like a Moira dash. You can like change direction later, but you can't do that. So I definitely do the same thing. 2v3 here.
That's
Penn
why I like
College-
Chamber.
Penn College still have to make their way on site. All down to Cursed.
If I'm Cursed, I'd probably elect to save here because you need at least someone to hold on to a gun.
Planted.
I agree. Well, they definitely hear Cursed rotating here through sewers.
Does Cursed know Chimp hurt him, though? No, and Chimp does get the kill. And it's going to even it up 2-2 right now.
Yeah, that was kind of a loud rotate over.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared for someone to be holding that if you're gonna stomp through sewers and splash around. That does put the Pioneers on kind of a weak buy, and Well, this would be a good time for Thrifty to come out. Lots of economy build up already on the side of Penn College.
Does seem like Penn is electing to default. They do have the Yoru over on the A site though, who can just teleport over to B at a moment's notice. Creep gets first blood with a nice headshot on OMX though, and Curse takes out Spy. 2 quick Marshall kills.
Numbers advantage going to the Pioneers. We said this would be a great time for Thrifty, but they still don't quite have the weapons
But
to
Mango
deal with
takes
that.
out 2 and evens it up. Ari does have the guess that someone is there. Can they get the kill though?
Ooh,
No.
just not quite ready for it.
And Rat takes out Creep and Cursed in a 1v3. The numbers advantage gone just like that.
Curse probably looking to find at least one more. Some good damage done here on your a little bit of a save. Can't quite find Mr. Chimp though, but hey, 2 weapons out is better than none. Pioneer should be able to buy up here, but it's Penn College who put one more round on the board to take the lead.
This is still a very close game though, and it's far too early to call anything. But Point Park is running out of money here. If they win this round, they will be forced back onto another save.
Well, that's the problem, and that's really why you need to put a round on the board when we talk about that economy buildup, is that it's like every other round you can buy, and then you're kind of forced on a save or a half buy, and that's a tough position to be in. At some point, you need to start converting rounds. It's still early. If Pioneers can get a win, they'll be in an okay position, but they have to start converting rounds, and this is the time to do it. You're on a buy-up.
It is worth noting though, this is a great map for closer ranged weapons such as shotguns. So if you play well, those low buys are very much winnable. It's just obviously gonna be more difficult.
Definitely expecting to see Ari bring out some of those shotguns later, kind of a signature Ari move.
Here.
And on a similar note, likely to see Creep with the Odin. Cursed, did he spot Rat? The Yoru, oh my god, Cursed with the spray takes out Rat. Does take out the Yoru clone. Do they know the Yoru is pushing up? Ari does see OMX, can they get the kill?
They're looking for it, just playing time, but Ari gets caught with that smoke out, and that's unfortunate. Pioneers still have that numbers advantage though, and they're going to be able to finish this off thanks to a nice 3K from Clark, leaving him on 1 HP. But that doesn't matter. That's enough time to get the defuse off, to save the weapon, and put another round on the board for Point Park, tying it up.
And that was such a nice flick from Clark. They take out the one coming out of vents and perfectly just snap over to the other. That was so clean.
You'll love to see it.
Now, back on an even game, both teams have decent amount of money, although Ari and Coast are a bit broke.
And that's why it's so important to have that economy build up, right? Because even though they won, can't afford that full weapon, whereas Penn College did lose. They still can buy, and even if they lose this one, they'll be able to buy again.
Although there are some people who would argue a Guardian is the best gun in the game. It is me, I'm some people. It does seem like Penn is gearing up to push onto B site. Yoru sending all their util across. Creep is in a bit of a dangerous spot. Oh my god, and they whiff badly, and we hear a yell of pure rage from
You
the other
can
room.
see Clark there in the corner just absolutely losing his mind. Not the way he wanted that to go. All down now to just 2. Daystar here looking to find a position to entry. Last player standing.
Daystar in a 1v5, they do know where he is. Is he going to be able to make something happen?
I think the call to save is going to come out looking for some exit frags. Finds one, but Embrace Rat going to clean that up, and that's no weapon saved for Daystar or any of the Pioneers.
You know, for someone named Embrace Rat, you'd think they'd be playing a lot more ratty.
You're right. They really need to embrace their rat.
I aspire to become one with the rat.
Maybe you guys can duo queue. Me personally, I would never turn my back on the Pioneers. Pioneer for life. Bison up. Is that a saying? I don't know.
Bison what?
Bison up. Like,
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't really know any of the sayings, but the Pioneers definitely looking to take this other round here. It's important. They still don't quite have the win, but Ari finds no impact with those knives thanks to Spy.
We do still see a bit of those bugging out flashes. Daystar does find one, but gets traded out. It's now a 2v2. Clark barely misses Mango. Oh, my bad. I 2v3 misspoke.
Clark's waiting for
Spike
someone to
planted.
peek him, but I don't think anyone is.
And Clark slowly pushing up. Does he know? Yes, he does!
Mango
Oh
didn't
my
even
God.
look. Definitely had to hear that pickup of the Vandal, but
Enemy remaining.
good
And
news
Clark
for Clark,
gets
who
a
finds
nice-
another. Now all down to Mr. Chimp. Will they be able to do it? Well, Mr. Chimp's been able to handle
Oh
these situations
my
before, but Clark's gonna find 3, going to get the defuse, and now Point Park once again tie it up.
Clark with some devious shots that round. And honestly, I have no clue how Sova didn't hear that gun pickup. That should have been a free kill for the Sova.
Easy. It should have been an easy gun pickup.
But with that, it is back to a tied game. We might be gearing up for a repeat of the last one.
We just might. Well, Pioneers able to buy again and slowly but surely inching their way up in the economy, but it's Penn College who still has that build up.
And Penn is going to be pushing up A main right now. The flash comes out, doesn't see anyone. We do see a bit of just spray going between them. And yeah, the Spy gets taken down to 1 HP, but is able to get back and should be able to be healed up by the Sky.
Spike planted.
Heal is coming through and Spike is planted. No one dead yet, but now having to work against time in this 5v5 retake. Pioneers just waiting for the rest of the team to come through, and Spraying is gonna find Embrace Rat, but the rest of Penn College doing a great job cleaning up everyone. It's just left to Clark, who can't do it. Mr. Chimp with another 4K for the day.
Mr. Chimp has been just such a great secondary player in these rounds, but in this one it does seem like he's taking a more commanding role. In the previous game, we saw him being the one who just was always there to clean up. Here, he's taking the role of being the one who starts it off.
And I think that also has to come down to that role swap. Mr. Chimp finally on that duelist this map, so able to be a little bit more aggressive and has a little bit of a kid that allows Mr. Chimp to play off that, doesn't have to play back off their utility.
The Euro does come out as they just aggressively scale up. Ari does get a pick before getting traded. That's a nice kill considering she only had a classic. Clark gets one but gets traded out, and Rat does take out Daystar. It's going to be a 2v3, but Embrace Rat is very weak, but is going to get healed up by the Sky.
Benefit of having a Sky on your team, that damage is all but negated.
The team does now know where Creep is, but they do have that Cypher slowly pushing up. And Creep barely getting missed by that Sky. Oh, and a nice shot to sit down Sky. 1v1 here.
Interesting decision to push off of your clone so they know which one to shoot at. But Mr. Chimp gonna find it in the end. That was pretty good though, save coming out from the Pioneers. 4 weapons offline.
Yeah, but with that, Penn is gonna take a 2-round lead. So they are up now, but Point Park back on a bye round should be able to even it back up. Assuming they don't just get rolled over in this round.
Well, that's exactly what it's going to come down to. They've been able to put a couple on the board, but Penn College still up by 2 here on their map pick.
does seem like Penn is gearing up towards A. Seems to be a bit slower than the last times, though. Ari in an aggressive angle is able to find first blood, but doesn't have that dash to get out. But Creep with a nice pick on Mango. Ari's still stuck in this corner, though. And Omps is going to get the kill on Clark, but Coast is able to get the trade.
Pioneers have the numbers, they have the weapons, they should be able to do this, but Penn College has been a force to be reckoned with, and still Mr. Chimp is still alive. It's been oh so tough.
If anyone is going to keep Penn in this round, it's going to be Mr. Chimp.
Definitely have the opportunity to do that. Right here, they know they're on A thanks to that haunt being destroyed, and they're going to have to work their way through. Didn't clear out Creep.
In a nice pick from Ari to finish that round off, bringing it to a 5-6 game in Point Park, is going to get the econ back on track with that one, from the looks of it.
They're able to buy up again, but Penn College has had such a build-up that they're able to buy as well.
Both teams just very, very similar situations here.
Pioneers can put one more on. They'll be able to leave with a 6-6 half.
I've got your trail.
Probably the best case scenario. Lots of ults on board for both teams, and already one coming out from Penn College. Make that 2. Making their way onto site. Creep finds
gets
one,
2.
but
But
not able to find another before getting traded out. That still opens up site, and 4 members of Pioneers still available to make their way onto site. They know where the plant is, but they can't clear everything at once.
A bit of a rough fight from Daystar, barely missing the kill on Rat. They do take out Omps, though. Are they able to get it here? If I might be able to, but isn't able to get it and gets taken out by Mango.
5-7 half. This is kind of the opposite scoreline that we saw last time. Pioneers have the opportunity to bring it back and to bring it to OT, or possibly win out, but Penn College now moving to their defensive half, and this is their map pick. I have a feeling they're going to be pretty strong here.
Yeah, but this is still just such a close game. And as we saw from the last game, Point Park, they're very comfortable on offense. If they can carry that over to this map as well, I can definitely see this going in their favor.
Well, it all starts here with Pistol. I think a must-win round for the Pioneers here. They've won the past 3 Pistol rounds of the series, so no reason why they shouldn't be able to do it again here.
They do seem to be pushing up B site, which is the weaker site for Penn, but the one-way Cypher Cage is going to slow down that push. Bunch of damage comes out on Daystar, who is just going to heal it up, though. And Clark with a first blood onto Omps, and not quite able to take out Rat, but Rat is down to very, very low health, as Point Park elects to rotate off B, heading over towards A through their spawn. Coast is slowly lurking up mid, though, from the looks of it.
4v4, clock is ticking. Just under a minute, though. But Mango gonna find one before getting traded out. That's gonna open up sight a little bit, but they still have Mr. Chimp to deal with. And with the spike down, that makes it a little bit more pressure there for Penn College. And now, suddenly, all down to Curse here. Has to deal with 3. Knows where some of them are. Finds one. Will Curse be able to isolate these last
30
2?
seconds left.
I don't know. Doesn't have any flashing utility, but does have a camera. He knows that a clone came out, so knows exactly where Mr. Chimp is.
Does
Sees
grab
one,
the
but knows the
spike.
wraparound. Ooh. Has to expect that wraparound, but doesn't have time to deal with both.
Is just a bit too slow there, not able to take out the first before the other is able to swing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well played by Penn College, and they get that first, well, second pistol round, but the first round of this half on the board. Penn
And
College able to buy up, and they should have a pretty easy time getting the second one. And now suddenly Pioneers looking at potentially an 8-5.
that is going to be the first pistol round that Penn has won this season. Not season, series. But this is still a winnable situation for Point Park. It's just kind of rough considering they're now down. They do push up into Rat, who is able to get a pick on Coast with that Outlaw. And Mr. Chimp just spraying through the smoke, not able to get anything, but gives away his position, currently holding on the rope. Accidentally full blinds himself.
It happens sometimes. It happens.
And because of that, is a bit out of place when Creep comes out. Creep able to win the gunfight with Frenzy, but gets traded out by Spy. Mango just a bit late to take out Daystar, but now Sky is there, and they have a lot of util to hold back this push. And a nice read from the Sova, immediately rotating over. But does Clark expect it? No, they don't. And Mango gets 2.
Yeah, it's tough when you don't have weapons and you're looking down the barrel of a bulldog.
Daystar does get the kill on Mango before getting taken out. And with that, now Point Park is in a bit of a rough spot.
Well, that, you know what, though? They should be able to buy up here, right? That was their save. So they were able to take 2 weapons offline going into that. The Pioneers have to win here when they have rifles, though.
If they don't manage to pull out a win in this round, they will be in a really rough spot for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Pioneers, the loss here would allow the economy to build up for Penn College, but this should be their win. They were able to take 2 of those weapons out of the hands of Penn College, so that should help them a little bit.
Oh, an Embrace Rat lurking in the smoke.
They know that's a clone.
They don't know Rat's there, but do they get the kill? No! Rat manages to get a pick with the
Just
classic.
5 HP, but that's going to be enough for Embrace Rat to stay into it.
And Clark takes out Rat before getting traded by OMX.
Point Park don't have the numbers, but they do have the weapons.
Creep does get a kill on Spy to even it up. The Molly comes out from in vents, but gets blocked by the dog, so it's a little bit short.
Start rotating over here. Ari's gonna updraft just to stay out of danger and harm's way, but knows that someone will be coming up vents. They're just trying to create as much space as possible, waiting for the team to rotate. Penn College rotating over themselves. They know, and Ari has been spotted, is just kind of waiting.
Does get a shot onto OMX, but not able to get the kill before getting pushed out by Mango, who's able to pick off Ari. 2v1 for Point Park. Daystar is revealed by the sonar arrow.
There's 2 members of the Pioneer team left.
Creep does get the pick onto Sky. Daystar is forced off his angle, and Chimp does take out Creep. Oh, and Daystar barely losing that round. With that, it's going to be 5-10 in Penn's favor. This is a rough situation to be in if you're Point Park.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout come out soon. But yeah, suddenly Pioneers looking down at a 5-10. Not a great scoreline you want, especially when you're not on a bye. But remember, this was Penn College's pick. Pioneers coming off of a pretty long, hard-fought victory there on Ascent. Trying to put as many rounds as possible, because remember, if they lose here, we're still going to that Decider Ascent, but you want to make sure you know how to deal with this team.
And it does seem like Point Park is electing to go for a bit of a spread default here. Maybe try and find some picks before committing to a site. Which, not necessarily the best idea if you're on a lighter buy. Normally you'd want to, like, group up. But Clark is able to get first blood onto Sky. And with that, they take some space on A.
Also able to recover a weapon off of that. Clark now has a rifle. Can deal with that. Still split up pretty heavily.
But both teams are, like, equally spread out right now. Numbers advantage still in Point Park's favor. Clark slowly scaling up, gets seen by the Silver Drone. Able to get a pick on Mango with Cursed help, though.
They're making their way into sight. And that should be enough time for that spike to go down, but not the best weapons in hand, save for Clark.
Ari is in a nice position though, able to sneak up right behind Omen. Barely
Oh,
gets the kill though with the whiffs.
Not going to be able to clear everything, unfortunately, but doesn't matter when you have teammates there to back you up. A Thrifty coming out from Point Park, and that's exactly what they needed. The momentum they needed. Those are weapons recovered. And now things are looking a little bit better for them, but they have to make sure they can win again here where they have rifles.
And now Point Park on a full buy despite not buying most of their weapons. Whereas, for the first time in a while, Penn forced onto a light buy. That might be the momentum shift that Point Park needs. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Well, only one way to find out.
Ari playing a bit passive towards mid as Penn pushes up.
Ooh,
One
great
for one
raid.
trade. They do know Chimp is there.
With a shotgun, no less.
Mango does take out Clark on the A side though. Numbers advantage now in Penn's favor, and they know Coast is there too.
They also know the other Pioneers were on B site, so they can't be together. That gives Penn College a little bit of time to regroup. Maybe recover a weapon or two. First, starting to inch up towards the rest of their team.
Oh my god, and Chimp goes huge, taking out the Phoenix ult and then getting a double kill. Coast in a 1v4 does get the pick on Rat. Is he gonna be able to make this happen?
Well, if he has time to isolate these fights, gonna make it a little bit easier. And look how low Mr. Chimp is.
And Penn is spread out quite a bit, but they should have been able to recover weapons, making it pretty even in terms of guns, so numbers advantage is going to be big here.
Unfortunately for Cursed, time is ticking. They're gonna have to really speed up if they want to clear out and make their way on to site.
10 seconds left.
That fake plant gonna come out.
Oh,
Oh, and Mr. Chimp with the 4K so low, so incredibly low, but back-to-back Thrifties is gonna put Penn College here on round number 11.
and that was a nice win from Penn. That 50 is exactly what they needed after getting 50 themselves. But with that, they're in a pretty commanding spot.
Yeah, up by 5 rounds right now. Just one more round for match point. Ultimate economy's in their favor. Regular economy's in their favor.
Daystar using Clark's head for target practice.
You want to fight it?
The Astra ult does come out as they seem to storm up A site.
Face your fear!
Mango does immediately solo ult though and takes out Cursed. And, alright, that's huge. It's gonna be a numbers advantage for Penn. Creep does get the kill, but it's gonna be 4v3. Daystar gets 2 though. Oh, but Chimp and OMX do take out kills, and Clark gets taken out by Chimp. A big play by Daystar, but it wasn't quite enough.
It's a nice try. Nice try coming out, but not close enough. Pioneers now have to win 6 in a row to bring it to overtime. That's a tough ask.
At this rate, we are headed straight towards a game 3. But Point Park might be able to make it happen. I'm not going to count them out just quite yet.
Definitely have the ability to do that, but will they be able to do it? I don't know. Penn College looking so incredibly strong here on their map pick and already have that first and second blood. Things not looking too great for the Pioneers. It's match point here for Penn College and things just not quite going their way.
Daystar on 5 health. Curse does get a pick, gets 2 before getting forced off the angle. Oh, Curse takes out 3, evening it up. That was a huge play by Curse, and the ult comes out, so they do have the intel. Daystar heals up to half health. Oh, but gets taken out by Chimp.
Spike down.
And that's gonna be Spike. If Cursed wins this, he's gonna ace.
All down to Cursed here. A strong player in these clutch positions, but not going to be enough this time. Mr. Chimp finds Cursed first, and, well, Penn College.
Taking game 2 pretty commandingly.
Yeah, I think that was, well, a lot shorter of a game than map 1, where we went to multiple rounds of overtime, but again, that was Penn College's pick, and that does mean we will be going to Decider Pearl.
I'm excited to see Pearl. I want to see what these teams have cooked up for this map, considering I've not seen that much gameplay on it recently.
That's, you know what, it's been out of the map pool for so long, just like Split, but I'm so excited it's back because I am a Pearl enjoyer. But before we talk too much about Pearl, why don't we break down what we saw in Split a little bit?
So, we did see that role swap between Spy and Chimp pay off so well, and match MVP Mr. Chimp just dominating on that Euro pick.
Yeah, I really like to see Mr. Chimp there on that Yoru. I think it was fun, and it allowed Mr. Chimp to play off utility a little bit easier. And I think, unfortunately, the Pioneers just didn't quite have the footing on this map, and I get the sense that this is a strong map for Penn College and a weak map for the Pioneers. And also, remember, we were coming off that super long game, so to have the stamina to really make it through, that's tough.
Pretty impressive from Penn after that just super hard fought game to end in a loss. They brought it back, able to take a commanding win. That's what you need to get the momentum in the series back.
Well, I mean, if this series as a whole has taught me anything, it's that all these players have the potential to make it through. And I think either split's going to be a quick like 13-3, or we're going to make it to overtime again. I don't think there's going to be really anything in the middle, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is anything to go off of. I mean, this looks a lot more like the Penn College we were expecting to see from that third place seed in the division right now. And well, I'm not sure why we didn't see more of this from them on Ascent, because they looked like a pretty strong, cohesive team here.
They seem like a strong team. I think it might just be that Point Park. They're just that much more confident on Ascent compared to this split map, which I think that's what made the difference for them. And here we saw Penn on a map they're so much more confident on from the looks of it.
No, that's true. And also remember, Split has kind of been out of rotation for so long, and this Pioneer roster is very much a new roster. They're trying to get in the groove of figuring out things and synergistically together. And they just really probably haven't had enough time on Split, but that's okay. They got in some practice now. 6-13 for the second map, and that does mean with this victory from Penn College, we are moving on to our decider, which is Pearl. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a short break, and when we come back, Game 3, decider of the series, coming right up. right, we are back for the decider here on Pearl. Game number 3 in this long series.
This has been a really intense series here, and we'll be getting into the pick phase for Pearl now. I want to see what these teams do for this, because Pearl, it's an interesting map that we haven't seen a lot of, and there's a lot of different strategies that are perfectly viable here. We do see Penn, I believe, going for the Yoru yet again. Yeah, Mr. Chimp back on that Yoru, but Rat swapping for the first time this series onto the Harbor.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common pick here on Pearl. I think Harbor is kind of a strong controller.
Ooh, and Point Park, Creep taking over Daystar's duelist role, locking in that Reyna, whereas Ari opting for the Neon over the Jet, still keeping that Astra, but Daystar swapping to a Gecko. Both teams actually electing to bring the Gecko for this map, which makes a lot of sense. And Coast going for the Chamber.
Listen, I'm a Gecko enjoyer. I'm just excited to see some Gecko. I'm a Pearl enjoyer too, and I'm also a Reyna enjoyer. So this is a good map, I think, for me. This is gonna be fun.
And we do see Point Park with a 2.5 duelist comp, because Chamber's kind of a duelist.
Yeah, I mean,
So
definitely a little bit more of an aggressive Sentinel for sure. And has been out of the meta. I know got nerfed pretty bad, but I still think Chamber has some viability, especially on a map like Pearl. And of course, you know, Belong hasn't really been touched, so I mean, a Chamber Belong.
it is worth noting, Chamber did get a pretty noticeable buff a little bit ago. And has actually been in a pretty solid place for a few months now.
Yeah.
Not quite as dominant as he was pre-rework.
Oh, he's never gonna be as dominant as OG Chamber. I'm not sure that we'll ever see him like in the set meta again, but yeah, I mean those buffs do mean something, and of course the neon buffs as well. Pretty terrifying to go against.
Creep getting forced off the angle, tried to take an aggressive duel but gets forced back by a bunch of util. And it does seem like Penn is trying to get aggressive on this A site. No, it looks like they're backing off here.
Lots of utility expended from them, but they are gonna inch their way towards mid.
It does seem like Point Park isn't falling for the bluff though. The team of Penn is pushing through art but gets spotted. Daystar does do a lot of damage. Clark finishes off the kill. Ari taking out Mango as well. Numbers advantage for Point Park. Clark does see Yoru. Not able to get the kill though. Chimp taking out Clark.
Well, Penn College still have to make their way on to a site.
Cursed, not able to get the kill on the people scaling through alley, but they do now know where the Penn College team is pushing. Creep taking out Chimp, both remaining members spotted. Ari whipping on Rat, but able to finish the kill. And it's down to just Gecko in a 1v3. Able to take out Daystar though.
It's all about isolating when you hear knows that somebody is tapping Diffuse. Gonna have to deal with that one and know exactly where Creep and Ari are, but that's tough to peek into two of them.
And they're just rotating between who's defusing. They stick half, then get the kill. Ari with a 3k to start off the game.
And that is the 4th out of 5 pistol rounds going to the Pioneers.
They have been playing really well in these pistol rounds and these low buys.
Which is pretty good. I think historically the Pioneers have had trouble on pistol rounds, so good to see. Ooh, looks like Creep already bringing out that Vandal. You love to see that on a Reyna pick, 2nd round Vandal. Ooh, Creep
That's
is
either
ready.
gonna go amazing, or Creep is going to get one tapped 20 seconds into the round, and the Vandal will be taken.
Well, as long as the Vandal's recoverable, I guess it's okay, but you're right. Definitely think that's a strong possibility, but I think Creep's got it. I think Creep's turned up and they won that pistol round, so have to be feeling good about that. Definitely a good sign to see too here on Pearl.
Oh, and Mr. Chimp takes out Ari. Creep is in a fight, does get the pick on Mango though, evening it up. Ooh, Chimp takes out a lot of damage. Daystar takes out OMX with the Molly, and Clark takes out Spy. Numbers advantage in Point Park's favor. Creep takes out Rat. Down to just Chimp alone in Art with a classic.
Yeah, but like if there's like one player or one of a few players that I'd be afraid of on Penn College, it's Mr. Chimp.
But Clark does take him out in Point Park, taking game 2.
So definitely excited about that one, and that means a couple of those weapons we're strong enough to bring into this next one. Now it's going to be Penn College on the full buy, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a B push when they have those long-range weapons. We'll see if that comes out or not.
I mean this in the least offensive way to him as possible, but it seems like Spy might have burned himself out in that game 1. In this game so far, and in the last game, he was just playing kind of average compared to how dominant he was at the start.
I think that it also has to come in the role swap, because on Chamber you really have to play off of your utility a lot, and I think Spy did really great in those like aggressive moments.
The shock dart does take out Chamber's teleport, but Chamber's still electing to push up Coast in a bit of a scary spot, but Daystar takes out Spy, but Coast gets pushed by Gecko and Ari takes out Manka but gets traded by Chimp. Rat takes out Clark and gets traded by Creep. Oh, and Chimp and OMX both get kills, putting Penn on the board 2-1 now. Point Park losing their bonus.
But you know what? I mean, again, they took 3 rifles out of the hands of Penn College, and that's what you want to be doing on that 3rd round. When they're buying up, you don't necessarily need to. So again, all is not lost, especially for the Pioneers on defense here on Pearl. I think they have it. Point Park have really chosen Pearl as a map pick twice so far, and have lost it both times, but you know, for them to pick Pearl, has to be a map they're somewhat comfortable on.
The Gecko out comes out immediately to take space in mid, but doesn't detain anyone, but it does spot the Astra. Ooh, Mango with first blood onto Creep, but Clark getting a nice kill on OMX and Coast with a really clean headshot onto Spy. Coast takes out Chimp.
Mr. Chimp can't be doing that.
Mango does try and push back Clark being very weak, can't really take that fight.
Ari's just playing a little bit ratty here, waiting for someone to push off, and knows somebody's there, knows it's Mango, and going to go up and recover a Vandal from that. Now all down to Harbor and Brace Rat, going to have to find a couple, but it's hard to track a Neon. And now what is Embrace Rat going to do? Time is ticking. There's 3 people to work against. Do you try to save this Vandal? Do you look for some frags? Do you rotate? Time is ticking. You have a little over 30 seconds. That rotation's going to start coming out, but will that be enough time? Pioneer's going to be able to make it to A first, and you can't do much. I think this might just have to be a save, but Embrace Rat, you can tell, is nervous, is scared, is trying to clear everything and hold everything, but you can only hold one angle at a time.
If I'm Rat, I definitely make the call to save here. You don't have really time to try and make a clutch, and it's not worth risking putting your economy in a worse state than it already is after losing this round.
Put this up to just hold some of that cover fire, but still 6 seconds. Anyone can push that. Luckily for Embrace Rat, nobody's there.
In Point Park taking another round, it is now 3-1. Point Park with a pretty strong economy off that win. I know it doesn't look that great, but they are going to get a lot after this round.
If they win.
They should still be able to full buy either way, though.
Yeah, they will. I mean, their economy definitely in a good place. Penn College, if they lose another one, I think, well, that's when things start to look dicey for your economy. They are going to attempt to push here B, but will the Pioneers be able to hold it? Curse with a good Guardian shot, and you said some people may say it's the best in the game. Curse might agree with you there. Numbers advantage, and they're going to be able to hold sight, but Penn College have a tough ass pushing their way up.
Ari holding this angle, waiting for someone on Penn to push through. They see the teleport come out from Chimp. I don't think Chimp wants to risk that TP though. Wingman comes out to plant. Ari elects to just sit back and let it plant due to that flash.
The Pioneers definitely have numbers, so no need to
Ari
push
does
anything.
take out OMX though. Chimpin pushing up, able to take out Cursed. Ari getting aggressive on site though. Chimp does take out Clark though with a nice shot. Daystar takes out Embrace Rat on the flank though. And Penn is getting collapsed on from this flank. Daystar taking out Mango as well. And it's down to just Chimp, who is able to take out Ari though.
Clock is ticking, but Daystar does have that wingman if they need to use it to defuse. They're going to be able to find Mr. Chimp though and get the defuse, and that's going to be round number 4 on the board for the Pioneers. Penn College, things are not looking too hot for them. That's definitely going to be a hit on their economy. And the Pioneers seem to have this map here of Pearl figured out.
And a nice flank from Daystar and I believe it was Creep there. Daystar picking up a nice 3k.
Pioneers have 4 ultimates to work with. Cursed one away as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pop out. I think Pioneers are kind of heated up right now.
I think after that last game, they're fired up. They want to win this series.
They want to win badly. And they definitely need to put as big of a buffer as possible because we talked about that stamina and that momentum. If they allow Penn College to start building up rounds, things could be a little bit difficult for them. I saw Daystar contemplating bringing that ultimate out.
Clark does get a pick on OMX though. Embrace Rap able to get Creep but gets traded by Daystar, but Mango gets a double. And now Daystar is alone here in this, but it does seem like Penny's backing up. The ult comes out from Daystar, forcing the entire Penn team to run. Oh!
Clear out. They didn't clear out that other one though.
And he accidentally just ulted Ari.
Last player standing.
Gotta feel bad. Feels bad, man. Not like this. All down to Daystar.
That is not what you want to see happen. The Sova drone spots them. That ult might have just cost them the round. With that, Penn is gonna back up, plant on B site. Daystar about half health. Sova slightly below half. Yo, Mr. Chimp still full.
Only utility they have to work with is Wingman. Might be able to help them if they can find one pick. Put Wingman on the defuse.
Wingman is like a teammate if they were actually useful. Daystar pushing up. Able to get one.
Oh.
Can't quite get Mr. Chimp though.
Nice try though. That was an NT.
That missed all just really messed things up for them.
Unfortunately, it did. Well, still 4 ultimates on the side of Pioneers. Hopefully, one of them might be a little bit more useful here for them. They might bring it out, but 4 ults for Penn College as well. Might be the time for them to bring it out. They finally got another win on the board. They want to try to keep that momentum up as much as possible.
Ari is trying to get a bit aggressive in A main, but the almost entirety of Penn is there, and she gets taken out by Chimp, but Creep able to trade her and then escape safely. We do see the Chamber ultimate on B site in case of a rotate, but it does seem like Penn is electing to just try and force their way onto A site. The Harbor ult comes out, and Daystar gets
Walks
just
right into that one.
so much CC. Clark does take out Spy though. Sprays through the smoke, takes Harbor down to half health.
So close.
Spike planted.
And we do see Cursed, ooh, takes out Mango with the Chamber Operator. But OMX does get Creep. Clark takes out Rat. Ooh, and a nice shot from Cursed to close out the round.
It's another round on the board for Pioneers. They're definitely feeling turned up now. You can see it there in the little mini cam in the corner. They're feeling good. They're feeling good.
And Cursed, even though they didn't go to his site, still able to get some good value out of that ultimate. The Chamber ult is, it's literally just a better operator, as I like to call it, the Choperator.
That's funny.
No, it's really bad.
Going after.
Does seem like Penn is trying to go for a bit of a default here. after that last big push just did not work out for them.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Penn having a little bit of trouble here on their attacking half.
Who's next?
Struggling to figure out what they can do. They were able to get that plant down last time.
Taking that back.
Clark is alone in the alleyway. Ooh, Spy not quite able to get him, but able to come back, get the kill. And Chimp, with the Bucky, able to take out Cursed. Oh, Daystar just gets ran down. Oh, Mex takes out Creep, and it's Ari in a 1v5, and they know where she is.
Ari does have the ult available, but not gonna get a chance to use it. Spy finds Ari and finds, what is that, 3 or 4?
I believe that was a 4K for Spy.
Spy heard what you said and was like, no. Let's bring it back.
But yeah, a nice flawless from Penn to try and stop Point Park from running away with this.
Yeah, that was a really good round too because they didn't invest a ton into that and they were able to recover weapons off of that, which means their economy in a better spot than they could have hoped for.
Here.
Does seem like they're going again for a default here.
Here.
Mango finds a first blood pick onto Cursed.
Ari's just gonna hold and wait for someone to come. That's the beauty of Neon is you can get out of dodge if you have to.
Last player
Oh, just a
Ooh.
little high. That spray doesn't quite go where Ari wants it to, and now it's all down to Clark. Has a weapon,
covering it.
but an ace from Clark, that's tough to call out right here. They have the rounds on the board, but Penn College doing a good job of creeping up and slowly bridging that gap. Clark gonna be forced to save here.
I think that's smart. I think Penn is playing pretty close together. They aren't willing to give up those exit picks.
Also, like when you think about how those last couple rounds went for them, their economy in a good place. Clark can't really afford the hit to the economy now that momentum has been lost by the Pioneers.
Mr. Chimp, though, hunting down Clark all the way on B site right now.
Oh, Mr. Chimp wants this kill badly.
Just not able to find them in time. Thankfully for Clark. Or maybe not, depending on how that duel would have gone. But with that, it's down to a 1-round difference, 5-4. Point Park still up, but they're going to be forced onto a light buy here. And Mr. Chimp, despite having 7,000, electing to keep that Guardian. Like I was talking about, best gun in the game.
Anod also allows you to not have to spend all your credits on a rifle. Cursed has a Guardian and also has a pocket Guardian. Not gonna be able to find anyone, but knows that they're coming.
And it's going to be Cursed alone on site, just having to stall. Spy put down to 20 health, being sprayed through the smoke. The wingman does come out to get the plant though. Spy creeping up through back site. And it is planted for long, and Penn is just gonna elect to fall back.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the spike down on B, there's so much post-plant ability. It's such a great site to plan on. They don't have a ton of utility for post-plant. They do have a Gecko Molly. Daystar finds one.
Daystar finds 2, trading out Creep, but gets taken out by Mango. Ari pushing in with the ult, does find 1, but gets taken out. But Clark and Cursed managing to clean it up, and they managed to secure that round. That is a big win for them.
That was, we talk about those must wins, and that was one of them because otherwise economy gets too out of control. 6 on the board now for the Pioneers. 2 rounds left in this half. Could they walk away with an 8-4 half? Penn College does have a pretty good handle on their economy. They should be able to buy the next 2 rounds. But Pioneers have the opportunity to really put it away here in this first half.
And it looks like Penn is gearing up towards the mid part of the map. Personally, I think that's probably one of the best places to push on Pearl, just because there's so much you can go from there. Creep does spot Spy, but gets pushed back after taking some hits.
Okay, better to back off than to push. It's all about taking good gunfights and not every gunfight.
Quake Park currently just spread out, trying to not let Penn punch a hole in their defense. Ooh, but Chimp is going to be able to find the first kill of the round on Cursed over on the B site. Creep able to even it out, though, taking out Spy. Isn't able to heal up off it, though.
Wanna go again?
Does seem like Penn might be trying to force an A hit here, but they do seem to be taking a bit long. The Gecko ult is going to come out, but they might be caught off guard by Clark in mid. And they miss the Gecko
That's
ult,
tough.
but Mango pushes up and is able to take out Daystar. Clark does find Rat, though, and takes him out. And to get Mango, Creep gets taken out by OMX, though, bringing it to a 1v1 with the kill from Chimp onto Ari. Can this Astra win this?
Actually, a 1v2. Still 2 members to deal with. But if Clark can isolate, makes it a little bit easier to be a 1v1. But Mr. Chimp's actually going to win out. Put a 5th on the board for Penn College. One more round left in the half. Who will it go to? Will we have a tie half, or will the Pioneers inch out on top here?
I should probably place some stars in the astral plane. I should.
Right, Penn College getting ready here for a B
I
hit.
got the spike.
Such a strong site. Everyone thought when they were reworking Pearl, this is what they were going to rework. Didn't quite do that the way people thought. Trades coming out, still a 4v4, but Pioneers have control of site right now. Lots of utility coming out too.
And Cursed, hiding in that smoke, backs off to behind the screen. Does seem like Penn might be backing off here. But Clark is there, able to find the kill on Chimp and able to get out safely too.
But look at that rotation. They're trying to bait them into going A, and the Pioneers are ready for these rotations coming through.
Oh, and Clark pushes up at a great time, but is looking at the wrong way. Not able to find the kill, but able to get out with their life.
Blocking vision.
Clark knows when to back off.
And now Penn, the 3 remaining members, trying to push towards the A site, where Clark is currently alone, but Daystar very close by.
What's obscuring vision?
Pioneers still have the numbers.
30 seconds left.
Clark is just getting bodied by the Dizzy time and time again.
The ult does come out, not able to find anything though. Clark gets taken out by Rat, putting it to a 3v3 Point Park in a retake situation.
But remember, Daystar has that wingman for defuse, which means you can still watch 3 angles at the same time.
And we do see Cursed rotating over pretty slowly to try and take back site. All 3 members of Penn playing together in main though. Ari trying to push up to take space. Daystar gets poked out. Ari pushes in but gets taken out. Oh, and it's Daystar in a 1v3. Brings them down very low but not able to close out the round.
Well, 6-6 half. Not bad. We know these are 2 pretty good teams, and if Ascent was anything to go by, we know that they're pretty good at just inching their way back and forth, trading these rounds off. Will one team take it away this half, or will we see another OT situation? What do you think?
I'd like to see it just end soon. This has
Me
been
too.
this has been such a long series.
Well, I would like nothing more for the Pioneers to take home a victory here. Map 3, quite a series. But Penn College, a tough opponent, seeded number 3 right now. It's 3-3 this season, looking to put a 4th win. Have a positive win-loss ratio here. I know both teams really, really want this. For Penn College, it's redemption for
Ari
last week for Point Park.
pushes
The
up
first win, but
aggressively.
Mango gonna find first blood. Can Point Park find another pistol round?
Ooh, no, it's a lot of picks for Penn. Down to a 2v5. Daystar and Cursed. Cursed half health as well. Barely dodges the shock dart. That would have killed if it hit.
Just looking for some of the peak. Finds one. Has another in the chamber. Looking for one more.
Not
Misses.
able to find someone with that last shot. They do still have Spike, but the entirety of the team is on B site. Looks like they're electing to rotate, trying to race Spy to A site.
Will they be able to do it? They have a little bit of time to deal with that. They're
30
inching
seconds
their way
left.
up, but the rotation already starting to come through from Spy. Gonna have to work quickly. The rest of Penn College is still waiting for that B hit to come again. And that's the beauty of Wingman. You can send someone to plant while you hold cover.
Spike planted.
Oh,
One
but Spy
enemy
with a
remaining.
nice kill onto Cursed. It's a 1v4. Can Daystar make it happen?
Well, only one way to find out. They know where Spike's playing it, but they're just shooting a little bit off. Unfortunate, Mr. Chimp's gonna find Daystar, and that's gonna put 7 on the board for Penn College.
This is such a tight game right now. This very easily could go to another overtime situation.
This is a nice spot.
I mean,
This should do.
yeah. I mean, look how long we were stuck in overtime on Ascent. These teams are in it for the long haul. They both won it. They both really, really won it. Pioneers, unfortunately, though, did lose that pistol round, which means they're not quite able to buy here. They're gonna have to be, well, really aggressive and just hope. There's 2 ways you can go on a pistol round. Be super aggro or be super ratty, but unfortunately for the Pioneers on attack, being ratty doesn't help too much. They're just looking to take one weapon out of somebody's hands. Will they be able to do it? Cursed with that little pocket guardian. That headhunter will hunt at least one head.
And Clark able to take out Chimp. Spy with the areas pushing up though. OMX takes out Cursed and Clark goes down. Another round for Penn.
See, they're starting to feel that pressure, but they'll be able to buy up here. If they can win this round, they have a chance. That does mean, though, since Penn College had 3 remaining, those are 3 weapons they're able to bring it into this round.
Point Park matching their weapons though. We do see a spread default here. And Creep pushing up mid takes a little bit of damage, but if they can get a pick, they can heal up. They are down numbers right now. Spy just sitting on that camera watching A. Chimp holding a very tight angle with the Bucky, but it's the wrong mid angle as Point Park pushes through Art.
Mr. Chimp gonna start inching their way out.
Point Park pushing out onto site. Creep finds the kill on Gecko, but gets traded by Rat.
It's hard to push when you only have a shotgun. The Classic's gonna come out instead, but Ari gonna put a stop to that. They know where Embrace Rat is.
Mango with a pick onto Clark, though Daystar not able to get the plant down.
Embrace Rat looking to push off of that, but Ari gonna put a stop to that. All down to Ari here.
Mango does get the pick onto Daystar with a shock dart. 1v2 here for Ari. Ooh. And just gets taken out. The crossfire was too strong. She had to push into it due to where Spike was. And it was a nice try, but not quite able to take it.
Yeah, that one definitely hurts for the Pioneers. They gave up quite a few weapons. Economy looking good for Penn College, and the Pioneers on quite a rough bye here. 3 rounds down on that scoreboard. Penn College only needs 3 more to bring it to match point.
Point Park is in a bit of a rough situation here. They need to try and just get a few picks and then win their bye rounds when they can get them. Aggressively pushing up here though, Ari just runs in and gets trades herself out. 1-for-1 trade. Curse slowly pushing up but gets taken out by Mango. Ooh, and OMX takes out Clark and Daystar and Creep. OMX going huge there to secure the round.
You can tell they're starting to feel it now, but they should be able to buy up once again. This is a must-win round in terms of economy for the Pioneers.
Sorry. Inside joke.
And they buy what they can. Cursed does have access to that chamber op right now. I think, looks like they're going to be electing to use, oh no. If I'm Cursed, I use the chamber op and don't buy that way. I can buy someone next round if needed.
Yeah, unfortunately their economy just like isn't in a great place where buying a hero op would even, or rifle. It also depends. I mean, I think that's a good op for B-Long, but it looks like they're just doing a little bit of a default, trying to see where they can find any sort of impact. But you're right, the op is so powerful, and they're not going to be able to use it. Clark falling is so detrimental.
Clark pushes up, but is too focused on Spy and backside. Doesn't clear Mr. Chimp and gets taken out. Point Park down a man. But we do see a slow push from the Reyna lurking onto B site. If Point Park is able to stall long enough, this might pay off. But right now, it's a bit of a stalemate towards mid.
Unfortunately for the Pioneers, though, Penn College has no reason to push them.
They just need to try and stall, wait for this Reyna. But it seems like Penn might be getting suspicious. They're coming back to check. Point Park waited just too long. Mango does get the pick, though. That's going to draw the attention of Penn over towards B. Ari storming up alleyway. Ooh, and 2 kills come out. They take back man advantage, and they push onto site.
To be able to get the plan down in those rotations still coming in from Penn College. They're going to inch their way up, but a huge lurk from Curse only going to result in 1, but Daystar able to just peek out, find another one, and they're back on the board. 3 rifles taken into the next round, and that's exactly what the Pioneers needed.
That is a big win for them. That's going to save their economy. And if you look, OMX, Rat and Spy all running low on cash now. That was a big round for Point Park. Cursed not buying anything this round, electing to use that chamber ult. If they can get a plant on B long, that's going to be so strong with that chamber.
Yeah, that would be really, really good for post plant. It's also going to be good for opening up paired with.
Oh,
is huge, but Clark gonna fall to Mango.
Mango sits Clark down, but Ari able to get a pick on Rat. Pushes in and gets caught by the trip. OMX takes out Creep. Ari not quite able to get the kill. The ult comes out, able to take out EMX.
No, there's one more.
Not quite able to get the kill, but Mango is so weak. But Chimp takes out Coast, and it's now Daystar in a 1v3. Can he do it? He gets seen, takes out 1.
Good isolations coming out. Has a lot of utility still to work with.
Dizzy comes out, does spot 1 going back site. Has to be careful of Spy though. Spy is in a scary spot. And Wingman comes out for the plant. But he gets seen by the recon dart. Has to push now because he doesn't have Spike.
Has a read on where they are. So just waiting for them to peek out. Find
Gets one pick.
The last one is.
It just comes down to this duel, but Daystar is weak. Oh, and barely not able to get it. Such a nice try from him, though. This is still a very winnable game. And with this, we've officially passed our record for the longest match or stream in Point Park history.
Here.
Yeah, our previous record was 3 hours and 4 minutes. But we're going to be well past that by the time this ends. All thanks to that first
No more
super long map of Ascent.
That first match was the match of the century. Now, Point Park, going for a default here, Clark does get spotted, but it doesn't seem like Penn was able to spot Daystar.
5 ultimates on the side of Penn College. Definitely going to start coming out as they inch closer and closer to match point and series point. 11 on the board for them right now. Pioneers fighting to stay in this, but they've only won one
In-
round this half.
Chimp gets a pick on creep, which is going to allow Spy to use that Cypher, and now they know exactly where the entire Point Park team is. They know they're spread out. Point Park trying to regroup towards mid to counteract it, but the ult comes out from Gecko. Does hit Neon, but Cursed is there, able to get the pick to defend Ari. The Sovalt comes out, does get some damage, but not able to get a pick. Point Park with numbers advantage, but the clock is ticking away.
The clock's ticking and all the information and intel is over on the side of Penn College. Pioneer's going to have to start making moves, but Curse, who already found 3, is going to open up sight a little bit, and that plant should go down now.
And with that, Point Park is in a very good position with that. Clark pushing in to defender spawn, gets a pick, but gets taken out by Mango. But Mango in a 1v3. They have the read, though. That was such a good read. And Daystar's pushed too far up, gets caught out. Mango! Oh my god.
They're giving Mango these 1v1s. You shouldn't do that. You knew where Mango was. You had numbers advantage, and you allowed Mango to isolate 4 of those and get this defuse. That should have been around for the Pioneers, but unfortunately for them, goes to Penn College.
And that was a complete, just offensive collapse from them. They played that so badly.
Things were going so well, but when you are in a 4v1, you should not be playing alone. There's no reason why you should not have someone there to trade you out. Especially after Clark fell, you knew exactly where Mango was.
That was just so sloppy, and with that, they put themselves on match and series point in an uphill battle. They need 5 in a row to bring it to overtime.
Well, if ever there's a time to do it, surely it's this one.
Oh, but OMX and Mango immediately getting picks, and Ari on 15 health. This might be it, everyone.
Still 2 ultimates on board for Penn College.
That last round might have just been the last nail in Point Park's coffin.
Yeah, that was a hard watch.
Clark slowly pushing up through alley, but can't really do anything because of that chamber trip. Gets the pick on OMX, but they know where they are now.
This time, there's 2 of them. They're there together.
Clark barely missing Chimp. Oh, Chimp pushing in, though, does blind them.
That was a huge... The Harbor Utility actually helped the Pioneers there. Oh, if they would have just pushed that, they would have been out, but that's okay. Clark's still finding Mr. Chimp at the end.
The Harbor ult does come out, though, but they seem to be able to play safely here. They do have to be careful, though. Spy is right around that corner. Ari is in a bit of a dangerous spot. Not able to get the kill, but able to get Rat very weak. This is a winnable round, but it is going to be rough.
Unfortunately.
Oh, and Mango gets the pick.
Daystar finds one, needs to
Daystar
find
gets the
2
trade.
more.
Does it? No! And Rat gets the last kill, and that is going to be the match. That is a crushing defeat for Point Park.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Really thought this was a chance for the Point Park victory, but they should feel really good about that win on Ascent today. And even better, it's Ari's birthday.
Yeah, that last game, it was going so well for a while, and then it just started going so badly. And then there was a complete collapse in that one round, and that was just all it took.
Yeah, I think Pioneers did a good job the beginning of the first half, but then I really think Penn College just got a little bit of momentum there, and unfortunately Pioneers only able to leave that first half 6-6 and had a hard time once they kind of swapped sides to attack.
Yeah, that was just a rough game. They played so well and were able to just barely claw out that victory game one. Then they lost game two pretty roughly, but this last game was totally winnable, and they just couldn't quite finish it.
Oh, and I don't blame them. I mean, this was a lot of Valorant to be playing. That the first map that went into OT, 23-21. That is a long match. We've officially surpassed our longest stream ever here for the Pioneers. Over 3 hours. That's a lot of Valorant to be playing, and I think they did a really great job. Unfortunately, I think they just had a rough time attacking here on Pearl, and unfortunately weren't able to bring it home this time, but that's okay. They should feel good about what they were able to do. But a very well-deserved win here for Penn College, and again, you know, they were the third ranked seed out of, well, we're 8th right now. So, I mean, definitely have been bringing it all season and brought it once again. And for their credit, I mean, Penn College really needed a rebound after last week, and then starting off after that long map just to end in a loss. They really brought it back. So a lot of Valorant for both of these teams. A good series, not going Point Park's way this time, but that's okay. There's still a season in the spring.
Yeah, and hopefully Point Park will be able to have a better showing in that next season. We have the makings of a strong team here. They need some polish.
A little bit of polish, but you know what? At the end of the day, as long as they had fun and you could see their faces. I mean, this is definitely a tough loss. Does mark the end of Pioneer Valorant season, and to go 0-7 definitely doesn't feel good. But you could see them smiling, and when they had good rounds, remember this is a new roster and they're still just trying to feel around each other. And I do think they are a good team, right? This was a close loss. This series took map 1. Brought it, what was it, 13-6 on split at 13-7?
I believe so,
yeah. On Pearl. So they're putting up rounds, and some of these rounds are close. And unfortunately didn't go their way, but I think they should feel good about the season they had. And then, you know, just bring that energy into next season.
I think they definitely have the chance to be a strong contender in this next season. That was just a really rough series. They played well, but it wasn't quite enough.
I agree. And while it is regrettable, I mean, we're Pioneer fans up here, right? I mean, and as much as we welcome every team who joins us, definitely well played, Penn College. We are Pioneer fans at heart, and it does hurt to see a team go out like that. But I think they should feel really good about that Ascent win. That was a long map, and this was a lot of Valorant to be played. I'm tired. I can't imagine how the players are feeling. But, I mean, on the plus side, we do have Red Bull here to kind of give us energy.
Yeah, Red Bull. Shout out to Red Bull for keeping the players going for that long series.
It's great. They really a great sponsor and keeping us stocked with Red Bull, so we have the energy to make it through long stretches like this. And I think great things are coming next season. But unfortunately, that is the end of the Pioneer Valorant season. Of course, we still have teams and other games, right?
I believe so.
Well, we do have a Rocket League team and a League of Legends team here at Point Park, all finishing up their seasons right now. I think the Rocket League team is fighting for a spot in playoffs, right? They actually made playoffs, so congratulations to our Rocket League team on Monday, made playoffs. Unfortunately, the League of Legends team and our Valorant team not quite able to do that this season, but we have a season coming. But next Monday, we will have a Rocket League game coming up for you as usual. So you're going to want to make sure you check that out. Also, make sure you stay up to date with us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Everything.
We're everywhere. Make sure you follow us for more updates about the season and to see when the season starts in the spring for us.
Yeah, and thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed the game.
I hope you all enjoyed the series and the games.
Yeah.
3 long games. We are ending here. I want to give a shout out, of course, to everyone behind the scenes, our director, replay operator, camera operators, anyone involved with the media team. I want to give a shout out to our players for an incredible season. I know it didn't go the way you wanted, but next season, I know you're going to come back with a vengeance. Close games. That's all we have for you here. We'll see you on Monday for some Rocket League.
Last player standing.